Babes Behind the Beats with Jess Bowen and Bowie J.
What's up, everybody? It's me, Jess Bowen.
Okay, I can't because all right.
I can feel an intro.
That's
coming
actually
on.
the best intro ever. It's gonna fade into that. We're fading into that. Just so you know, we're not cutting that out because it's the. What's up? It's me, Jess Bowen. She knows. She knows. God damn it! I'm called out. What's up, everyone? It's me, Jess Bowen and Bowie Jane here on Babes Behind the Beats.
That's it.
And we are so excited because finally my friend Jax has agreed to be on our show.
I've always agreed.
I'm just kidding. You're right. I have been the person that's been like, I don't want to ask her.
She's too scared to ask her friends.
I know.
Because-
I forced Jess to let me do things.
You're like, I want to come
Jax
on.
forces me to
sorry.
do things.
I'm like, I'm
As
doing
in-
this for you.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Because
please
you're not
come on
gonna
the
ask
show.
me
She's
to
like,
do
I'm
it.
coming on the show. I'm like, okay,
For
thank
you. You're doing it for me, too.
No, she literally, she's the best. But I'm happy you're finally here
Me too. Hi,
in your
guys.
Twilight shirt and all.
Yeah.
We're
Thanks,
gonna-
Spider Monkey.
Obviously, you have a new album that by the time this airs is basically going to be out, but we're going to talk about that later.
Okay.
Because I
We
mean,
got tea.
we've got some shit to talk about, Jax. No, but like it's a very. I feel like we've been friends, but I also want to know, and for people who don't know you, a little bit about your backstory. You know what I mean? Like, as in, like the
journey.
the
Yeah.
journey of where you even got to where you are today. Like, what age did you know and fall in love with music? How did you fall in love with music? Let's talk about let's go back.
Okay. So before my feet picks. and-
Exactly.
yeah.
Before all the feet picks.
Before the desperation set in.
Really, yeah. Hey, don't talk about
Hey,
my 8.8s like
that's-
that. These on
I-
Wiki Feet. Can
I
you see these
legit
bad
looked up.
boys?
I legit looked up feet pics the other day, and but apparently you make more money if you associate your head with it. So I was like, we're not doing that.
I love that you
Oh,
look-
that makes sense. Like if you put
like,
your head, put
yeah.
your face
You
in
have
it.
to have
So
it.
I was like, oh,
Wait, hold
More
on.
money. for
I'm
that.
gonna look you up on Wiki Feet real quick.
Is Bowie on Wiki Feet? Bowie,
Yeah.
are
I
you on
will
Wiki
be
Feet?
actually.
You are.
Bowie's on Wiki. What is her? Wait,
It's
what's her
just
rating?
bad.
What's her
Dude,
rating?
guys, don't look.
Hold on.
It's not as good as my rating.
Wait, I'm looking up Jax's.
Dude, I did not
Yeah,
know I was
yeah,
on
you look,
Wiki
you
Feet.
I'm
look.
looking at Jax. Okay, can you say
You
what
like what you
Bowie's?
see.
What Bowie's is?
Oh, it's gonna be bad.
Bowie's
My feet
is
aren't great.
It's a 3-star rating, but it's better than okay.
Jax.
Can I see that?
I know. Apparently, I got a nice fucking.
You have a 5-star. Jax has 5 stars.
I don't know why.
What the
Hey,
fuck?
hey,
Wait, how
The
does this?
photos they've uploaded are like from every photo I have ever posted ever. So there's always
That
someone
is not my
looking.
foot.
No, that looks like an ad.
Oh, Jax, it's because you have a lot of barefoot. You do a lot of barefoot in your music
This
videos.
is like
I'm just saying, I see it here.
I am
It's so
shocked.
Brave. You've shot a lot of this.
Yeah, I got some Quentin.
These are-
Tarantino
See,
shit
Brave is
going
in
on right now.
studio as well with us, and I'm gonna call him out. You did you shot these. I know
Which
what you
video
shot.
is it?
maybe I am selling my feet.
Come on, you definitely shot like
Dude,
this
if you're
one.
a
Yeah?
5-star, go for it.
Am I wrong about that one?
No,
You're
that's
so
a
right.
selfie.
I
think
should
that one's
really-
a selfie.
I'm a 3-star, so
Bitchcraft,
like,
she was
you know.
very
I don't
Oh.
think this is
Bitchcraft,
actual Wiki
barefoot.
Feet.
That's
I
the
don't
one I'm
see your
thinking of.
rating.
No, but I would be because obviously it would have been on the
How do
old
they know you're a
television.
3-star when you don't even have any foot photos?
You guys, no one cares about mine.
Wait, hold on.
Just
out. I need
Bowie.
Brave,
to
you haven't
know.
checked mine.
Hold
Anyone?
on.
I mean,
Anyone?
I already know you're a 10.
Hold on. Yeah, she is.
I
a straight
don't
five.
Out of a
remember.
5.
Got it.
What is
Really?
mine? What is mine?
2.
Oh no.
4.5.
Oh, I'll take it.
And
I
there's a
don't know.
lot of
I
your-
thought she was gonna be like.
There's a lot.
Well, because I used to play barefoot.
Oh yeah.
I used to play.
Are you fucking
They're
kidding?
everywhere.
Yeah, I used to play barefoot.
Those dogs are out.
Wow.
Dude, you're 4.5.
Okay, so 1, 2,
mean-
3. No offense.
I
Bowie.
mean, I'm pretty sure mine are
But that's
0.
how
But I
rated.
don't trust that rating because there's not a single photo of your feet, so I don't know how that.
Well,
could
that
That's
foot,
true.
that was a big fat foot. That wasn't.
That
my
wasn't
that's
foot.
your
actually like not fair.
Yeah.
No.
So
What you need to do
So-
tonight.
I'm gonna start a wiki feed.
what you need to do.
But hey, listeners, just like I don't know what the question was,
I
but
need more. I need more flattering shots.
we made it 11
did we
seconds.
get to Wiki
Somehow we're like tonight, Bowie's posting her feet on Instagram just to make sure it's fair game.
Actually, my nails aren't great at the moment.
It's
so.
go when you're ready. I'm sure people are waiting. I know at least just 3 Jess Bowen Stokers that would be like ready to like.
Oh
Yeah.
my god! I'm
Listen, I don't even know how we got on this subject.
You said backstory.
And you talked about
Backstory,
Wiki
Wiki
Feet.
I'll give you like the
And that's-
long, short, non-pick me version because it's hard to like talk about. Like it's so many phases and chapters
Yeah.
of
Right.
trying to do this. Like I've been songwriting since I was a kid.
As a kid, when we say like, how old did you start? Like, because of this
So
podcast,
little.
we like to talk about like literally the very
Like, literally,
day if you
it's-
remember.
It is interesting.
Like I remember the day my dad was like, because I asked him before I played drums.
Yeah.
I literally was like, I don't want to play drums. I
Right.
want to play guitar. I remember the day that he literally told me, like, I'm gonna, like, you have to play drums for
Yeah.
a year, and then I'll buy you a guitar. So, like, that's how my journey started. So,
Mm.
like, what was like the moment that
Okay.
you
we're
remember?
really deep diving.
We're
Okay.
going back.
I had this like really old shitty Yamaha, like this like 5-pound like kids. I think you've all probably
Like keyboard?
had it as a kid. Yeah, like a
Okay.
keyboard. And like I used to think it was. I mean, I was like half very dramatic and emo from day one, like since I could talk. So like I was just my life. No one understands me. Like
I
so
must
always
write a
needing to
song.
write it down and like I think I'm gonna sing about it, right? Like I tried to rhyme things. I taught myself by like listening to pop songs I liked, like Britney Spears songs and like Heart and Soul. I just learned how to play
Yeah.
really badly, right? Just knows I transpose in every show. I'm like playing in one key the whole time.
Not really badly. She's very good. But okay.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm lower than average, so I get by. But like for performing on like the keyboard and like singing, I was like when I was a kid, I was in musical theater because we were in New York
Yep.
growing up, and I loved it. Like I was that kid, and I just loved making people laugh and like just entertaining, right?
Love
And
being on stage.
yeah, I was always like, what? I want to be Annie. But I was always like, orphan number 4. Like, and I was just like always trying to like, eventually my mom's like, I'm not going to be that stage mom. That's going to get you the role. Like, you gotta, my dad, on the other hand, was like, how do I flirt with everyone here? All the moms here to like get my daughter this role.
Whatever I have to
Whatever.
do.
He's like, oh, hey, Susan. Like, you're like, we love you, Dad. She's Annie. Like,
I mean, that is showbiz.
Hey,
Yeah.
he's still working.
Your
it,
dad,
I'm sure.
we
My
love-
dad's like flirting with all like the freaking all the corporate people every time he sees them.
Literally love
We
your dad.
love that.
He's
Love
just-
John. We love
yeah,
John.
Yeah, it's a lot. I'm like now I'm sweating. Yeah. Well, me and my bro. I do remember my first like. We, on the keyboard, since I'm not the best piano player by any means, I would play with the like settings of the beats and stuff.
Where it
and
like has like the
Yeah,
things built
the
in.
auto
DJ,
bass.
DJ,
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
DJ,
Yeah,
like, and
yeah.
I'd be like, me and my brother would be making funny songs. Ironically,
Cool.
I think the first song we ever like performed for my family using an instrument, and I was like, we have the song. It was called Caller ID. For some reason, we just thought it'd be really cool to say caller ID because we heard our parents say it a lot, and we were
Sounds
like,
cool.
"You really, really need caller ID." Bizarre.
Sounds sick.
Yeah, but I started making those goofy songs with my brother to perform for my
Wow.
parents, and yeah, so I'm mentally ill. So that, they do say that really that those kids are in the future mentally ill. And
because
I think that's true.
It's definitely unusual to know I'm just going to write songs about the way I'm feeling and whatever.
yeah.
And like, I'm going to make something that rhymes. That's not necessarily everyone's course, you know?
Yeah, that phase, like I used to write. I loved writing always. Like I was terrible at math and science and
You
all the
you
things.
knew that you were good at writing it.
I
like,
loved writing. I had
yeah.
some great writing teachers growing up that I
Great.
still talk about. Like I just Miss Margulies, shout out wherever this camera is.
Love
There's
that.
multiple
We were just talking
cameras.
about her. Were we not?
Yeah.
Wait, what grade?
No, she
what
was telling
grade?
me all about her.
What grade?
Sixth grade.
She was sixth grade, and her daughter was my 5th grade teacher, and I was just absolutely obsessed with these two women.
It makes a difference at that age.
Yeah, they were they were the epitome. I wish like they growing up could have taught every A&R I've ever worked with like
Right.
what it was to constructively critique somebody
Yeah.
and how inspirational it could be if you do it right and if you really care and you really are trying to move the needle on it. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
she was always every red line I ever got was awesome. So I knew I could perform. I knew I could sing ish. Like I was bad, but I got better.
No, but you know you're in tune at some point.
I just
You
love
know?
to, yeah.
Like
I
you're going,
had-
oh, I'm singing
yeah.
at the same as.
I
yeah.
practiced harmonies, and I think the Warped Tour era after that, once we had moved to Jersey, like preteen, teen era, like there wasn't a lot of musical theater out there, so I started putting bands together, and I was in tons of just like kid bands that were playing, you know, rock covers and then punk covers,
Right.
and then pop punk covers, and then writing pop punk songs. And that's when like I really started applying my writing to music, where I was like, okay, I know these chords. I'm so hormonal. I'm going through like all these. I'm dating all these musicians. I'm like, I love Daddy. I love him. Just obsessed.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Sorry, I'm kind of backtracking because we've had so many artists that have talked about the musical theater thing.
It's interesting, especially New York.
Right, and especially in that. So I correct me if I'm wrong. Obviously, we've been friends for a while, but like, did you do musical theater in high school? Did you do it starting at a young age? Like, when did you start?
I didn't go to high school, but I did some school theater, but it was really young. I think my first play, I was probably 5,
wow,
maybe 6. Like, I just loved it. Like, it was community theater, and then I loved it so much that I was like auditioning for the adult community theater, which was like we'd have to split the time I was allowed to be playing the role because of like the actual law, like where they'd hire 2 kids to play a role. I remember like having to learn that and not to be competitive. Like it taught me a lot of things.
Wait, is this theater or musical theater?
Musical theater.
Yeah, because I think in America, like, you guys just call it theater.
Oh, right.
But in Australia, we definitely separate it. So I'm always like,
no, I was not on camera.
Theater.
Not in any kind of professional setting. This was like
but still, you were singing and acting and dancing.
But like, that's how you got your, like, you were like, you were in plays and musicals and stuff at that young of an age.
I'll say that, like, I always felt really at home on stage because I definitely think that was a natural calling.
Yeah.
Like, my dad, and if you know my parents, they're super extroverted and love to entertain, and I just love entertaining a room full of people.
Are they musical?
No.
That's the thing that I actually wanted to ask, because obviously now I know your parents, but like, for the sake of this podcast of getting to know like how you got into it, they were never into like music. Like, how did you, like, why did you get into it then? Like, in what sense? Like, you just fell in love with it?
I think my parents, so my mom was a New York City school teacher. My dad was a firefighter. So the hours were weird. Like, my mom would be working from 5 a.m. and she'd get back at like 4 p.m. My dad would go for night shifts at the fire department in Brooklyn. So they would like kind of take turns and like honing in on whatever me and my brother were loving to do. And I think my dad totally could have been an actor in another life.
Right.
Yeah,
if he didn't have such a chaotic childhood. And like, he really, you know, he worked very hard, and he got out of the house like really young. And like, I just still think he has that look and that energy and the charisma to be an actor. And I think he kind of looked at me and was like, okay, we have similar traits. Like, we love to like entertain and embody whatever we're embodying to make people happy. So he always encouraged it.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of like freedom of expression. I was always imaginative, and they encouraged me to be creative, and my brother. We were really lucky like in that way. But I think for sure theater was a huge, like, thinking about, even now, I'm so theatrical now on stage. Like, we're doing songs about chlamydia, like, just like, you know, like, it's an entertainment at the end of the day. We're it's half us and half just like for the people. And I love it. I've always definitely loved it. But I think the biggest thing about it is that it taught me how to read really young.
As in reading scripts?
Yeah.
Or reading music?
Yeah, because like, when you think about, no, I can't read music.
Because I was like, I mean, no, but reading scripts, you're right.
It
and understanding what words mean.
When you think about, like, as a writer, when you go into literature and you start to really get excited about those things, I loved reading and writing because I was forced, not by my parents, by the way, I was forced to apply what I was reading to the feeling of it because I had to act it.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, even at 5, when I was just like a 5-year-old trying to read, like, I'd have to really understand when I memorize a script what it meant, because I'd have to be it. So it forced me to context clues so young. So I always say to people like who are like, oh my God, my kid is just like struggling in reading, and they're kind of behind, but I know they're so bright, and it's just a challenge. I'm like, dude, scripts and theater and it just kind of forces you and pushes you past your comfort zone to
Because
learn really young.
our past guests who have done theatre haven't actually said that. That's really interesting because it helps you interpret the words.
Yeah, you have to.
We have to.
Yeah.
Even if you're cheating,
You have an
to.
audience right there,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
an audition or something, and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
if I don't understand what I'm reading, then this won't make sense, and it won't be a good performance. So,
100%.
and it all ties into now who I'm writing lyrics, and
Yeah.
it's all the same. And singing
Right.
them on stage, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Anyway. You know, I'm not always feeling the pain of a breakup song out.
No, but you
every
know how
night.
to portray it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to channel what I was feeling while I was writing it. So.
And moving from musical theatre to songwriting and
Yeah.
bands and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, how did you get a band going?
Ugh, I started in like a bootleg version of the School of Rock
Oh, cool.
Okay.
called the Academy of Music in New Jersey, and it was a cool stepping stone, like to play with a band for the first time. They kind of like rally a bunch of young kids together, say you're a band, like here's the songs, let's practice these.
They
and
put
then
you
Right.
together, or you choose the band?
They put you together.
together.
I mean, like
That's
if
cool.
you weren't, you could try to. I don't know. But
Yeah.
we were a bunch of kids with parents there, and we would, practice out of our garage for the times we didn't go to the school. And eventually we played the Stone Pony. That was our first gig.
Huge, iconic venue.
Okay,
by the
I'm
way,
in
just
Jersey.
I
In
don't know
Jersey,
because I'm Aussie, but yeah.
it's a very, very iconic.
Yeah.
Like Bruce Springsteen,
Bon
Jovi.
Bon
Oh,
Jovi.
shit.
It's one of those that's like the Stone Pony
Yeah.
is like if you play there, it's like it's
Oh.
iconic.
So,
Yeah,
so
it was
with
cool.
your group, you were playing there.
That was our first gig as a band that we had practiced really hard for, and I had
That's
a
cool.
fake purple streak in my hair, and I wrote all over my Abercrombie jeans, like just Sharpied over. Thinking it was rock and roll, like my little like flare cut off jeans, and like I was bouncing off the walls on stage. My first experience with a band and adrenaline, and all these like kind of my boys behind me, it's just feeling so cool.
Yeah, that's
And then-
cool.
Yeah, it was cool. And then you kind of just grow a little bit, and you realize everybody's, if they're in school, and everyone's going in their different paths. And I joined the next band, which was like deeper in Jersey, where I met some of my closest friends and, managers, the ex-managers.
Right,
and
right.
that was a world where our families are together. You know what it's like when you're in a band and you're gigging out and rehearsing like crazy. You become family.
It's literally everyone knows everyone, and you are family.
Yeah,
you're
literally,
it's,
like-
Yeah.
There's no way for it not to feel that way.
Yeah, it's honestly dysfunctional. Like, if
Yeah.
you think about it,
Yeah.
you're not family, but you really are, no matter what.
You're living
Yeah.
and breathing everything.
But when you're kids, like, that's not just like you guys. Like,
Yeah.
that's all the families included, the parents of everyone. So
Yeah.
you're
Right.
it's just always chaotic. And then eventually, we did Bamboozle and a couple of Warp Tours as very, very young kids. Like, just not a great.
Wow.
Yeah, like we were really cute, and we were
Like
good
how
for what we
old?
were.
Like ballpark.
Like 11, 12.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Like, I actually want to know, because I don't know if I've even asked you this. Like, as an 11, 12, or 13-year-old doing Warped Tour, what does that experience feel like? Because I didn't do Warped Tour till I was in my 20s when
Yeah.
I did my first.
That's crazy.
So, like, when you're that young,
Yeah.
that has to be insane. Like,
Stressful.
intimidating, right? Like,
So cool. So fucking cool. We look so cool in our
Yeah.
friend. Like, I mean, we all started kind of getting homeschooled at a certain point, but like for those that were still in
Wow.
middle school, it looked really cool. For me, it taught me so much. I always say, like, the one experience when people are like, how do you work in this like business? It's so cutthroat. And it was my first Warped Tour in Asbury Park.
oh, yeah.
I got a bottle of piss thrown at me.
What?
Yeah, water bottle full of piss. Because, and honestly, I deserved it. We were so young, and we were playing,
No,
like,
no one deserves
We were
that.
playing like Jonas Brother covers.
You were how old were you? You did not deserve
Yeah, you're
someone
right.
throw. Are you kidding me?
But,
That's
you know,
absolutely
you
not
can't
deserved.
Really faze me
Someone
now. I'm
saved that
like-
bottle of wee and went, I'm just going to wait for a Jonas Brothers song and then just
yeah,
go
yeah.
bang.
Boo, burn
Yeah.
it up.
Like,
I mean,
Also-
that's...
It was
like-
me. It was
it was brave.
Wouldn't be surprised at all. We talked about that. That's
And
actually
now
how we
look at
met.
him.
Yeah.
We were actually probably on because Brave was on tour with our band, so
Yeah.
We should
probably.
introduce Brave.
This
Could
is
have
my
been.
husband.
To
So,
the listeners.
so for the listeners, in case you didn't realize, Brave,
We're Brave in studio with us.
Jax's husband,
Yes. So if
who
you-
is been a friend of mine for many years.
Since I was
I'm sure we've all
17?
crossed
17.
paths.
So
Oh,
Brave was on tour with our band.
explain that.
So Brave was You did video and content and all that stuff for our band in 12 till 15 or
The
14.
Somerset.
Yeah, something around there.
Yeah, for
But
Somerset.
we hung out. We met at like some
We-
college-y parties.
Right. We had
before
hung
that,
out
like,
even
years
like
before that.
2000.
'Cause you're
It was
both
probably like
from-
2009, 2010.
You're
You
both
have
from
an amazing
Arizona, right?
radio voice, by the way.
Thank you.
He's
You're
like,
both
hello.
from AZ.
Putting it on.
Anyways, amazing radio voice. Yeah, no, we know each other from like a long time ago, but
It's probably about 2010.
But
when did you play Warped Tour? He probably threw that piss because you just said.
around then, honestly, we talk about it sometimes. I never ended up on the West Coast for
Well,
Warped Tour.
Every time he goes
I've
to
never
the-
thrown piss at anyone.
I'm just kidding.
Every time he goes to the toilet, she's like, "This smells familiar."
Asparagus, yeah.
Why am I triggered?
So triggered.
I hate you. I don't know why.
I'm like, oh God, that reminds me of that one time. Yeah, no, but it was good. It reminds me of that. You remember the Runaways when you watch that scene where the manager's like throwing dog shit at
Yes.
the girls and then it just builds like I don't know. You
Builds
get
character.
skin, builds
No, I'm kidding.
character.
Yeah.
Resilience.
This is the millennials talking. It's like
Yeah.
the problem with our upbringing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is that we're like, yeah,
Okay, boo hoo! Someone threw his bowl of piss. But now
Yeah.
you're tough.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm traumatized, but I don't feel anything.
Oh my god.
you had a learning experience.
Yeah,
from
we
it.
did.
And we're like, yeah, I'm sure.
So wait, were your parents on tour with you then for Warped Tour?
Yeah.
I guess so. Right?
I actually remember one time my dad, he's like very like Brooklyn firefighter, you know.
He's
a
intimidating if you don't know him, but he's like
He's a
a teddy bear.
Guy.
Yeah.
He's very emotional.
Yeah.
He's a teddy bear. But you know, he could be scary. Like my ex-boyfriends were like, oh, he's
I could see it. I feel like he could put it on too.
Oh yeah.
Like he
I've
could
seen
not-
him in your videos, but obviously I haven't met him.
yeah,
he's
the
the
like
sweetest.
mushy version, right?
Yeah, the mushy.
Yeah.
He I think Bamboozle, our first Bamboozle, he didn't know what a mosh pit was. Like he had never heard of one or knew that was a thing that happens at those kind of festivals. And I remember just, you know, we had rehearsed our asses off like months of, even like we had like a choreographer to teach us how to stand up properly and you know, like we tried we were out of our garage. It was really cute, like,
Yeah.
and we were so excited. We had won a Battle of the Bands and we had gotten so much hate
cool.
online from all the other bands that were in the Battle of the Bands, and they were like, these fucking stupid kids, like this is so dumb, like this is some nepotism, like industry plant, like, and we're like, no dude, like we're just in New Jersey and it's
Yeah.
cute that we're trying to play like
Yeah.
a red jumpsuit, like, yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember song 1, we got into the first song and some kid like some kid started a mosh pit front row. We had a really nice crowd, and my dad's standing there and he took it really personally. And he takes, I don't even know if we're supposed to say this now at this point, but
It's fine.
well, maybe we'll.
All right.
I don't know. He takes the kid by his t-shirt.
Oh, that's fun.
I just remember
That's
seeing
fine.
it from it was a different time, guys. It was
Yeah.
Bamboozle
2009.
2009.
I was gonna say this is a long time where
This
like
is
my dad
peak
would have done the
MySpace.
same
Oh
thing.
my god,
No,
I think
and
it's
the
fun.
MySpace.
My dad
Right.
would have done the
Yeah.
same thing.
He lifted this kid up by his shirt, and I just remember seeing it from the middle of the stage. Like, Dad, no, like it's pretty cool that we have a mosh pit. I'm like, stop, leave this kid alone. The kid's just shaking. He's probably like 15 at the time. Like, just sorry, sir.
Mosh
He's like,
pit
he just
gone.
goes, that's my daughter.
Oh my god. I love that.
You're gonna sit down and you're gonna enjoy the show. That's my fucking daughter up there,
And
and she
did he?
worked really. And he sat there. This kid, I remember, just front row, like
Oh my god.
watching Jonas Brother covers on loop. Like, this is a fever dream for this kid.
cannot.
That is hilarious.
I love
Yeah.
it.
He's
Your
still
dad,
that way, but
Oh.
But also just saying, I literally love your dad so much.
Yeah.
He's a fucking
He's the
icon.
best.
Your parents both, honestly.
I
Jill and
know.
John, the best.
I mean,
The best.
I don't know them, but it seems like you're from a good family.
you'll meet them if you're here on the 28th. Then they will be.
You
on
I
meet
tape.
will
them,
be.
Yeah.
and you will love them.
Yes.
They will outdrink us.
They.
probably.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But you think you can drink?
They can drink more.
It's so crazy how you go
Firefighter.
your, hey, look.
Yeah.
Like, They like the the full bottle of wine and like a sauce.
Oh, yeah.
They're the best.
They're
so
yeah.
fun.
Look at everything falling apart.
Everything's just.
Actually, that thing might need to be tightened on the
Oh
side.
no, we got it.
This is hey.
Yeah, that.
He's
Look
gonna,
at
said,
her.
"I can fix that."
And that's why we have Brave in here today.
What a good
Stabby.
hubby. If only we all had that. Well,
Oh, actually, that was a slick move. He grabbed the tequila bottle.
any.
I saw that.
Where are your drinks? I'm just like sipping this.
Dude,
I'm oral fixating.
This
right
is not iced tea.
well,
now. This is water.
yeah,
Seltzer.
all of us are drinking.
I mean,
water.
this is iced tea.
Bo's like, this is water.
This is water.
How did you move past that and into like you're such a successful songwriter, like you've won awards, like didn't you win a scholarship at the New York something or other?
Oh my gosh. You know, you guys have seen my Wikipedia. haven't
Yeah, but
you?
I was like, dude, I go, that's fucking
Because I get this
impressive.
question a lot, and I like it was
But
such a blip in time.
It's a blip.
No,
that
but-
you're-
But yeah,
This
it
is
is cool. I
impressive.
guess I didn't really think about it as a kid, but yeah, it was
Like you're a kid?
I was that particular award that people always ask me about. I remember I must have been like 14 or something, but it was
Wow.
some sort of. But it did pay for like a really cool a basement studio and cool
Really?
like Avid course. They gave me like a music scholarship at BMI
It's just
for
yeah.
the John Lennon songwriting competition.
that's insane.
I
and
mean,
it was
like
cool.
you go whatever, but we go
At
oh,
a young
you-
age,
at
it's like
14,
that's what people are
It
like.
was such a bad song. I remember that's why I block it out of my because I'm
You're like, don't talk to me about that contest.
It's so funny how you like, you know, how people are just so like critical of themselves, right?
Yeah.
And it's still such
was
a
bad.
pivotal part of like people's careers, though.
Yeah.
Things that happen, and then you're like,
Yeah,
I
that
get
was a
it.
pivotal point.
I get being like, no, I don't want to talk about shit like that, or like being like, oh, it wasn't that good. I'm that way about myself. I still am
Yeah.
always telling
Yeah.
people, you know,
oh,
like
I
it's,
know.
but it's
You're
like,
I missed that one beat.
yeah, yeah.
It was an hour set.
That's what I'm
She's like,
saying.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I literally, yeah. Speaking of
remember
that,
you
I literally
telling me about
apologized to
this.
Jax after the first
Every show.
Jingle Ball show.
Every show.
The first Jingle
She's
Ball
like,
show.
I'm
I
sorry
played it.
about. I'm like,
I was like, I'm
stop.
so sorry,
You're
dude.
like, I
And she was like,
literally
I
don't
literally
remember.
did not hear it. But like, that's funny. Like, as anyone as artists, but like specifically talking about you,
Yeah.
like I'm sure you feel that way
I'm
about
really
things
hard.
where you're like hard on yourself and you're like, oh, I don't even think about that stuff. But those are like
Yeah.
stepping points to getting to where you are now,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
still like things that maybe you don't even
Yeah.
you know think about.
Also, the impressive part is songwriting at 14. To me, that's young.
I mean, you started even younger than
Like,
that, right?
It's just
Yeah.
dramatic. I was honestly
know,
just
but
like, I need to get
that's-
it out of my system. Like, I hate my
That's
dad.
like-
Fuck you, dad.
But that's you're born to do it. Like you are born to do it. At 14, you're born to do it. So
I love to trauma dump. I love to vent on a paper and
Okay, well,
rhyme it.
Then speaking of which, you know what? We might as well just jump into your new album.
Yeah.
Why not, right? Like
Yeah.
can we jump to that
Sure,
right now?
yeah.
We can backtrack at some point.
wait,
if
I
we
want
wanna
to
bring
talk
up-
about TikTok as well.
Oh, TikTok.
Do we want to talk about that?
I'll give you like the shortest. I'm gonna try to squeeze this timeline together. I'm gonna
Like,
use my best
yeah,
songwriting
just
skills
like
here.
yeah, you do it.
So it goes from Warped Tour to trying every different outlet I possibly can
Yeah.
to, you know, I went solo. I worked with some very bizarre producers. Like, God bless my parents. I was so mean to them at the time. I was like, you just don't understand me. And like, this is my art. And I'm like, I had some crazy phases and I have seen some crazy shit that looking back, I could see why my dad was so stressed out that I was in these rooms and environments with these people.
Right.
But I got really lucky, and I did some shows. I had tried to write new singles, put them out, constantly working.
Independently releasing.
Yeah,
Right? Yeah.
and trying to convince my mom that college wasn't necessary. Just dabbling in it here and there.
Yeah.
Disappointing them here and there. And then when I moved out to LA, I started songwriting for other people.
Right.
Because as you do, I mean, I wanted to be obviously an artist, but that was the best approach for me to pay for rent and to just immerse myself in the scene out here. And thank God I did, because I met everyone I know, and I learned so much from like the most talented people in every end of the entire spectrum, where it was like you had these incredible producers, incredible songwriters, people that you walk in the room and you're like, I didn't realize so and so was going to be here, and I'd idolized you my
Wow.
whole life. Or
Yeah.
the opposite, or really, really challenging sessions, collaborating, learning the ropes, and networking, meeting people. Just a real grind for negative dollars, 5 or 6 jobs, side hustles. Like at one
For
point,
years.
yeah. I mean, we had packaged phones. At one point, there was an app, Yonder.
It's where you go and
Fucking
do a
yonder.
like comedy show where you're not allowed to record because they're filming like the Netflix special.
Oh,
And
yeah.
There's people at the front door
Oh.
putting your phones in like sleeves,
Oh.
and they lock.
We were
Yeah.
those people.
So we were the
Oh,
people.
you were the ones taking the phone?
We were the
We
one
were-
that
and then
fucking
at the
Barbara
end,
was
we have
like,
to,
"You're
like,
not
give
gonna
the
take
phones
my
back.
phone. These are my rights."
We have
I
to
was like,
unlock the
"No,
cases,
they're not.
and there's
So
you
you had to-
signed the ticket
Wow.
contract. You pressed accept."
yeah, and just everyone hates
No.
us.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have to deal with
And
the hate.
And then when everyone's out of there after getting trashed and throwing up, they're like
Oh, we got
phone
phones.
cases are caked in like throw up.
Oh.
It was disgusting, and all for like $120
Who would've
for like
thought?
an
We
8-hour
were like
day.
sick groceries, and then on that note, I had babysat a lot. And I started babysitting Chelsea,
Right.
Chelsea, yeah.
and it was basically like, and any job I could get that was sort of flexible, it'd make it easier for me during the daytime to do 1 or 2 sessions.
Yeah.
Signed a really shitty publishing deal. It was like $30,000 for 3 years, and there's no way to pay your bills. It's, what was it, $2,000 a month for the cheapest apartment we can find.
But also,
Um,
you were like, any money's good money at
yeah.
that time, right? Yeah.
I was like, something
Yeah.
to pay for groceries and gas, and we worked everything we could. The most bizarre jobs. I worked for I think like it was like a vibrator company on Instagram. I ran their social media at one point. I was like, all right, sick, sold. Like, I could do Instagram for a vibrator company. I don't know.
Yeah.
Free
I'm like,
products?
whatever. He was like, yeah, I love this.
Yeah,
video.
he goes,
He's like,
"Do
I'm
it."
down.
He's like, this is your career.
He's like, do they sell scissors?
Do this.
Yeah, we did some crazy shit, and we played all the gigs we could get, and then
So
TikTok.
were you sorry, I want to clarify this, and sorry if we've already discussed this. So you signed a publishing deal before signing to Atlantic? Is that a separate? You totally separate. You
Right.
signed
Yeah.
that, and then
and when my first, I when you sign a record deal, you get a signing bonus, and the first thing I took my signing bonus and I bought out of that publishing deal to own my money.
you bought out
Oh,
Yeah, like to own
interesting.
Wow.
publishing. So, and then I had free publishing for my own publishing for the first few years of being with Atlantic, and now I have an admin deal with Warner,
Right.
and
Okay.
a really good one. So I'm like, that's
That's
sitting here like,
perfect.
I
Yeah.
did that
Yeah.
right. I'm like, the one thing I could say I learned from a really good way is my publishing.
That was smart doing it that way.
I mean, the more you start signing contracts, you're like, I need to have ownership of something
Yeah.
Right.
in the long term. And the thing I cared about the most was the songwriting. So I was like, it would be really nice to have ownership of this. And
Yeah.
even though it feels like a big investment to buy out, because the contract was really wacky.
It was worth it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm so happy. Like, so happy about that.
And
Right.
when did TikTok blow up? Was that sort of in the middle of all of this, or?
No. End of 2020, early 2021, because what my day job was, aside from everything I got fired from in 2020, all those other 5 like side hustles, they're like, oh, no, you're fired.
We don't need
I'm
vibrator
like,
seller
sick.
or
No, literally. That
vomit
company,
phone cover thing.
Yeah.
You think the opposite. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a pandemic. You think
think
the
they
vibrators
got
would be
thriving?
flying off
Yeah,
the
you
shelf.
would think.
Actually, that's what we need right now.
Honestly, you're not wrong. It's like, so true. I got fired from everything, and I started collecting unemployment. He was driving Instacart. We were posted up in my parents' place in New York, and everyone was, including ourselves as users on TikTok, we were just like, escaping to TikTok. We were
Yeah,
like, oh my
something to
gosh,
do.
this is so entertaining. It's funny. It's stupid. It's dancing. It's whatever. We're baking bread. We're learning recipes. We're learning dances. It's bizarre. People are blowing up from their living rooms. So I started to, I couldn't be in the studio with anyone. So
Oh yeah.
I was not only on the East Coast, away from the scene that I was working with, but no one was in the studio together. So we're doing Zoom sessions, and I'm so like touchy-feely that it was so weird for me. I hated doing Zoom sessions.
Yeah.
Hated it. Like, it was so freaking weird to write songs over Zoom.
And that was just the thing at the time. There was no,
Everyone was doing it.
Everyone had to do it.
I think it was definitely like a pivotal time where I realized that for me, it was more about the people connection when you wrote a song, you know, than it was about the songwriting for other people.
Yeah.
I know so many songwriters out here that are so much better at being an awesome songwriter than, you know, like going full diving into wanting secretly in the back of their head the artist project. And I think that I always did. And I always wanted my music. And I was like, I want to write my music.
Yeah.
But it was impossible to pay the bills. Like gone off every single bill of my parents at 20, like the healthcare, the car insurance, all of it.
Right.
Like I was like, there's no way I can't pay my rent.
Yeah.
So I think when I started posting TikToks from the basement of that house, I was on a mission to like show my original music for the first time. So yeah, I think.
Damn.
So did you
It
start
worked.
singing with a guitar kind of thing, or
I had a
keyboard or
piano.
keyboard, right?
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm so bad at guitar. I wish.
Because I was like, actually, can you play guitar?
You were great at piano, though. I don't know what you're talking about.
I've
when
seen
you're
you
saying,
on the keys.
she was like,
No.
Earlier in this interview, she was talking
I
about
play
being
with,
like,
like, I play
and I was
the
like,
T-Rex.
Dude,
are
you're
you kidding me? I
good.
think you're so.
No.
I don't know. I
Kim-
think you're one of those that's just like wants
You
to be
can
like,
play-
I'm
I'm
not that
sorry.
good.
No,
I think
no,
you're so
I
good.
swear to God, I'm really not good. Like I would not lie to you. I'm not good. I would tell you if I was good at it.
Listen.
I know I can write. I write a good
But
song.
look,
like
we don't.
can't play
we
piano.
think you.
Listen, Jack,
Stop.
it's fine.
We're
I
just
think you're
saying
great.
we think you're fun. Anyway.
to
Also-
me, it's a tool.
Yeah.
It's
for
a tool.
writing.
It's a tool
Agree.
for songwriting.
Agree.
It's
You
a
know
tool
the
for
chords,
performance.
yeah.
I wouldn't.
Mhm.
I'm not a self-proclaimed penis.
But you use it as a tool,
Yeah.
and I do think you're very good. But okay.
Yeah.
So you're putting your originals out there and seeing what happens.
Yeah.
Or?
I did that. I flopped for months. I was like, I am so old. I can't get down with this app. I don't know what I'm doing.
This
I'm
was
trying.
what
now.
year was this? Like
2020.
20. Okay.
Yeah, during the quarantine.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what I was doing. I was just like singing some covers, some originals, just posting because I am always here for adapting to new media and
Yeah.
like where everything's going.
So you found out about TikTok, and you were like, I might as well start posting.
Yeah,
on
I mean,
this.
it's so awesome to see all these kids that you never knew how talented the entire world was
Yes,
because
right.
people were posting. It
Yeah.
wasn't the first time you saw an app where people from their bedrooms could play a song and all of a sudden their lives changed forever.
100%.
And I was like, what? This is the first time I've ever seen this. It was usually like, how many followers do you have on Instagram?
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you verified on this and
Exactly.
that and whatever? And this time it was like, no, we have this infinite feed that's
like
sort
more
of reading
freedom.
your brain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's opportunity for everyone, and I wasn't gonna fight it, so I was like, I'll try it, and flopped and felt stupid. Came back to LA as it started, kind of the quarantine started dying down. It was
Right.
we got back to the apartment. It was disgusting. Like everything was broken.
Oh.
AC, roaches.
We had
just-
Really?
we left. We
Not
left on
maggots.
the last flight
no
out
maggots,
of LA
but
and went to New York for like 2 months.
Yeah.
And then we came back to our apartment and we didn't clean out the dishwasher or the sink, and there was dirty
Oh.
dishes
because we
in there.
didn't know
And it,
Oh,
wa- it
how
you
long
know-
this
Oh,
was gonna
'cause you
last.
didn't
and
realize.
there were
Yeah.
plants growing on our
Oh,
dishes.
no.
Like we got back and it was disgusting.
I know what you mean because like 1 week can do that shit. Like,
and we did months.
oh,
Because my mom was like, you have to get out of LA.
Right.
It was like a nuclear bomb was inbound, and we
Yeah.
were like, we gotta go now.
And I was like, I
Exactly.
guess. I mean, Mom, I can't leave. We have an apartment, and she's like, whatever. It's not. No way this lasts long. I'll get you. You're gonna. You. What if you die? And I'm like, she bought us the flight, and we
Yeah.
were the only ones flying. It was right the day
No
before
one was
the
flying.
airport
Yeah.
shut
It was
down.
us and the crew on the flight.
No
Yes.
way.
It
And-
was
and
like
at
on
that point,
TikTok getting laid
the
off.
Oh my
world is
God.
ending at that point.
Yeah, we were like, ain't no way this lasts more than 2 weeks. And of course, we're in Long Island for
2 months.
2 months.
Yeah,
Were you
2
the
months,
same in Arizona,
yeah.
right?
That was the same for us in Arizona. Yeah, we
we're
went
like,
to
still
Arizona.
going, still out here.
100%.
Yep.
Yeah, so
oh my
we
God.
got back, and that was that. And then,
But you started like use that time productively to find out like you were posting and found out that was like that was a
Yeah.
pivotal thing, right? I mean, you ended up being on like the Ellen DeGeneres
Yeah.
show.
Oh my gosh, crazy.
Can we talk about that? Because I just have to say, I was like, I remember, because obviously, like, I saw this happen.
Yeah.
I was just like, holy fucking shit. I
Yeah.
remember thinking to myself,
Me
like,
too,
this
bro.
is wild.
What is this?
And watch this happen.
Yeah, that was absolutely bizarre. Like, we were in the jankiest apartment ever. Like, it's so bad.
Right.
So we had this, what we call the TikTok backdrop now, because we've moved out of that apartment, but we've brought the backdrop with us for when we film TikToks, so we can't let go of it. It's like all our games and stuff and like cool fan art. And we were watching a movie one night and ordered Chinese food, and we were just shooting the shit, and I was like, babe, wouldn't it be funny to do Stacy's mom from Stacy's mom's perspective? And he was like, yeah, that'd be funny, you should do it. I'm like, sick. So I woke up next day, I was doing it, I sat at the piano, I was like, Stacy, can I come over? Like, just so singing in cursive, like trying to be cool. And eventually I got so frustrated, I was like punching the air. I was like, that sounds so fucking, this is so stupid. I gotta just, I'm just gonna do it the way I want to do it, like funny. And I put a robe on, like a freaking bath towel on my head. I was like, tried to be my mom, like, Stacy, why is your boyfriend being super weird? And I like imitated my mom, and still to that, and on that day, it totally flopped.
Did it? On the first day?
Yeah, the whole day. And so I was like, oh God. Now I embarrass myself in front of my friends, my colleagues, and I'm just like looking like bizarre. No one thinks this is funny. I'm like, maybe I'll take it down. I'll just wait till the morning. And I woke up to pee that night, and I saw like a random user notification and clicked it, and it was like 2 million views on the. I was like,
what? Jesus.
Babe, wake up! And he's like, who the?
I thought someone was breaking
like
it.
broken. And I was like, we're like, it's really viral. Like,
Screaming.
so we
No.
started like doing point of views, POVs, and perspective
POVs,
videos
yeah.
from songs, and I was like, this is fun. I could write so many
Yeah.
perspectives from different songs. It's like a creative exercise, and we were cracking up, having fun with it.
Yeah, just thinking up songs and like
Yeah,
many
like
different songs
Chandelier
you could
from
do things.
Sia's
Exactly.
housekeeper's point of view,
Right,
you know,
right.
or like from
Clever.
Taylor Swift's dad's point of view, or, you know, driver's license from the guy behind her's point of view. Like, there was
Yeah.
always like, it was really fun to write these cool, you know, it was theatrical.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
endless, really. Like with every song, you could probably
Yeah.
do it. So,
Well,
yeah.
But that was the first. Stacey's mom was the first
Yeah,
one.
that was the first one.
And then from there went
Yeah.
to all the other ones. Because you
Yeah.
have so many that is obviously
Right.
like gone off. Like the Chandelier one was the one that I was.
There's
remember
so many
seeing.
fun ones that we just crack up thinking about, and it was I was like so excited to finally have people.
and still
just-
lockdown, kind of.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were still definitely in quarantine. We were still masking for sure.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, it was pretty crazy.
So did Ellen see this or?
Yeah. So my quarantine. I feel like I'm chewing your ear off right now.
No,
No,
this
this is what we're talking about.
We're
Yeah, we want to
interviewing
know.
you. We want
Yeah.
You know how like everyone had a thing in quarantine where they're like, oh, this is my project.
Yes, something they were
Yeah,
doing.
yeah,
So
yeah.
my best friend, her family does real estate, so and develops properties, and her dad was like, you guys should get your real estate license. So my real estate license was my quarantine project. So, and I was like, I'm so broke, and I got fired from everything, and TikTok is flopping.
Yeah.
Nothing's working. I have no money, and I'll be on unemployment until I figure this out. I decided I was going to study for my real estate license. Absolute nightmare, because it was during quarantine. I couldn't get into the exam. So every time I would like crash course, stay up all night, fucking freaking out.
Oh shit.
Sorry, due to COVID, your test is. I'm like, no, God, why?
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, my life is so hard.
No, but that is terrible to study. In my head, I'm like, I'd hate to study for something.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not a real estate agent. I was like,
No, that's
but
annoying.
I could work on my own hours. I like that.
Yeah.
You know, like
I see
I
it
watched
working.
Selling Sunset. I was like, maybe I could do this. I finally got my exam locked in where they didn't cancel it due to COVID. It was like time 3 or 4 canceling it. I cried. I remember, like, just out of frustration. And finally we got this thing, and I get this email from, hey, this is Ellen DeGeneres, like, would love to have you on the show. And I was like, haha, very funny, like, this whatever hacker scam identity theft this is.
Right.
I'm
like,
not falling for this one.
Yeah.
literally. Before I sent the email back, I literally was about to type a, haha, fuck you. This is, you can't get my debit card that has $30 on it. Like, I was like, babe, do you think this actually might be
I mean,
the Ellen show? And
Oh
he
my
was
god.
like, actually, we should probably let's follow up and see if it is.
Please
Really?
explain.
Yeah, but explain yourself.
Yeah.
They're like, yep, here we are. We're the Ellen Show. We'd love to have you. The day of the exam.
Oh,
So
the day of the exam.
I mean, at that time, I was like,
You're like,
this
"That's
is hilarious. I mean, but I did both. But
Oh my
you
god.
so
serious?
OCD.
Wrapped up the Ellen Show and drove straight down to like.
No.
I was not
Are
going to
you
let this
To
exam
her
go. I
exam.
get canceled too many times on
Are
me.
you serious?
I was not going to go a year studying for this exam with all my certifications
No.
to be. So I am a real estate agent. I will tell you. But
So anyone who
You
needs
heard it here first,
yeah,
guys.
if anyone needs
me,
a house, hit up Jack.
selling Van Nuys.
Selling
I got you guys. Like whatever you need.
So you obviously passed.
I passed. Yeah. I
You
also was
literally
the
are
last
a-
person in the room.
You are a real you are a real estate agent.
Oh my god, that's so
my God.
random.
Got
Why are you
you.
not on Selling
Nice.
Sunset?
You know.
Literally, why are you not on Selling Sunset?
Never used it.
Actually, all right,
never
we're
used
gonna
my
get you on
license.
Sunset.
But also, like,
Selling
okay,
Sunset. Put me on.
that's freaking crazy. The real estate part, but also the crazy bit is you
Ellen
went
yeah.
on the Ellen Show.
Not stealing my identity was actually
It
in
was
fact,
actual-
Ellen, and
So like, were you like, oh, what am I doing? Like,
super confused,
Yeah.
freaking out. Like,
and also you're doing it from home.
oh no, from Farrah's house.
Oh,
We
you did it
literally
from
filmed it in
Farrah's?
Farrah's house because she was my makeup artist and she like was really good at makeup and we had her there and we just zoomed called in.
So you Zoom because it was a Zoom, so you might as well do it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Why would you go
but-
back and forth? So you were at her place.
yeah,
Didn't
So
you have Ellen's like? Am I wrong?
I had
about
a cardboard
the
cutout.
cardboard.
She's no, because even though it was remote, the Ellen Studios are still here. So
So they still
they
send.
they
They
had
send
a
you
runner come to our apartment. Like some kid just dropped off like a ring light. Like Ellen does the
You're
prizes
joking.
and
Yeah.
gives people things. Like she gave me a ring light. Was it a keyboard?
Oh yeah.
Keyboard and a camera.
And a
Yeah.
keyboard and a digital camera and an Ellen cardboard
And then they
cutout.
dropped off like 5 road cases full of like streaming
There's,
gear
like,
so
this
that we
bunch of
had,
kids
like,
that day.
Ethernet cables and everything.
You're
so we could
joking.
live, like,
Just to
do
make
it.
sure that you get
Yeah.
on the way they
Like a
live.
suitcase.
Wow.
There
Yeah.
were, like instructions and labeled like.
That
things
is
everywhere.
bizarre. I mean, all the
Crazy.
things you had to, weird things you had to do in COVID.
Bro, and then the cardboard cutout was obviously jokingly in lieu of Ellen because she wasn't there
Yeah.
in person,
Right.
but we like couldn't figure out, we couldn't bring ourselves to throw it out. So like we're in this like 1-bedroom apartment. So and we didn't know how to throw it out because it was so cool that we were on Ellen, and she sent us this.
But
I mean, it
also
was
you've got
from
this-
her.
have an Ellen cardboard.
It was just in our living room, and every time I woke up to pee at night, I thought like Ellen was just
just
full
there.
life-size Ellen DeGeneres in my living room, just full heart attack every time.
Oh my gosh.
Eventually, I just gave it. I forgot I gave it to someone. Just
I
to
would've
stop
taken
getting
it. Come
scared.
on.
Yeah, I should have
Yeah,
given it
you'd
to
be
you.
like,
Can
I
you
don't want to
imagine
throw this moment out.
it? Who
but-
did we
so
give
funny.
it
I
to?
think we gave it to my sister.
Oh yeah.
All right, I'm gonna get your.
Yeah.
Let me get it.
Go bang down her door.
Go get it from her.
That
You're-
is
You're not a
too
scissor sister.
funny.
I need
Give
this.
me that bag.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Wait, were you signed at this point?
No.
Okay, so
Oh
then-
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
To Atlantic.
no, it was after. It was literally right after.
Wow.
Like
Do you reckon that
that.
helped?
Oh
or-
yeah.
I think it was right after. You wouldn't have gotten your real estate license if it.
Oh yeah.
No,
Yeah. You
Good
are right.
point.
Yes.
Yeah, that is
Good
a
point, Brett.
very good point.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
got signed after
To
this,
Atlantic,
but probably
massive.
pretty soon after.
Yeah, it was all really fast,
probably within a month or
overwhelmingly
two.
fast.
Yeah.
And I love to pride myself at the time in like my experience in the business. Like everything is like, yeah, I had seen it all.
That was fast.
I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like you think because you hit so many phases of low,
Yeah.
and you're in so many bizarre environments since a really young age to try to follow your dream, and you saw. So I thought I saw enough to be prepared for this, whoosh, like
Yeah.
0 to
Yeah.
100, and on my mental health. And I feel like every time I talk about this, I hear freaking Good Charlotte in my brain being like, celebrities want sympathy, and I'm like, I don't
You're
know what
like-
to say. This is we're so grateful, but we have no fucking idea what we're doing right now. We had no idea what we were doing from the start of all of it. I could never in a million years think about when we've done like even an amphitheater, right?
Yeah.
Or are the Jingle Ball tour and you saw the arena.
Yeah.
At a certain point, something kicks in you. It's almost survival when you get up there, where you're not even built to process the amount of human beings in the room,
Right.
like as individuals. Like it sort of just becomes this blurry
Yep.
sea of people, and you kind of disassociate from the entire thing, even though you're like, oh, my whole life I've dreamed about,
Yeah.
millions of people hearing my songs. You can't really fathom millions of people. Like you can't even fathom 1,000 people in a room without, and then when you see these views on TikTok and how crazy it was and all the comments and all the people, all the attention, it's just like, whoa. And we've been just broke hustling for so long alone in this
Yeah.
apartment, freaking taking weed gummies and ordering Taco Bell for 3 years, 4 years out here. And now all of a sudden, like all the songwriters you want to work with are ready to work with you. I'm like, oh God, I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous.
That's weird.
Like,
yeah.
freaking out. Still to this day, we have a very hard time. We have definitely backed off away from everything and locked the doors.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
yeah.
weird to like.
From 0 to not even 100,
Yeah.
I will say 0 to 1,000,000 is
Yeah.
what it feels like happens to some people, and you happen to be one of those people, right? Like, let's be real. Like you
Yeah.
you had been doing this for a long time, but it was like all of a sudden,
Yeah.
The upright bit's very
The-
short.
There's no
and-
such thing as like a gray.
Yeah.
It's always like, or there.
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
it's like this slow
Yeah.
road and then
and like let's be real, like people
Yeah.
aren't thinking about people's like mental health. Like, I mean, like that's a hard
Yeah.
thing to go from this lifestyle to something that's like that very fast.
Yeah.
Something that no one's used to.
100%.
Not
Not
and,
prepared.
and again, it's not like you're saying that you're like not grateful for it, but like I think it's something that people should know, especially people on our show. Like we like to talk about everyone's path to something, and a lot of it can be a mental thing where like that is an insane thing for
Yeah.
people to think that like that's no, just like be grateful. Like no one knows the behind the scenes
Right.
of when you get to that level and how much is asked of you as a person.
and it's
Yeah.
weird.
And
It's just
having-
weird, isn't it?
It's
Like
also
the public.
when everyone comes in and starts.
Swarming.
And starts wanting
Swarming
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friends that you didn't like.
You haven't heard from them
you haven't
forever.
heard, like family member, cousins, industry people that you've always like been banging down their door. All of
Yep.
a sudden they're like,
All of a sudden
we'll
they're
take
saying-
you to
And then you're like,
Nobu, and
fuck
it's
you,
like, I'm
like,
like,
yeah.
I tried my hardest. I took every meeting. I said yes to too much because I was like, I
Yeah.
just like, I know what I feel.
Well, you
I
know
know
the
what I
struggle.
know. I know what I know. I'm just gonna take the dinner. I'll take the meeting. I'll say hi. I'll be respectful to everybody. But we've always kept everything very like in house, and
Yeah.
especially the creative, because what it taught me, if anything, was that everybody that I had just clawed at the ladder to work with was only interested when the second I just did my own thing. Like,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
I broke through some sort of noise thing on the internet where it was authentic to me, and my whole life they'd always told me I was my songs were too written was what my biggest critique in the industry, in my friend group out here in the entire scene. It was like too written, like, oh, this is too cheesy, too many puns, like too much this, too straightforward, too conversational. It was always too written. I never, and for me, it was natural to write poetry in that way. It was natural to be goofy when I wanted to be.
Yeah.
It was natural to be like unapologetically
Right.
corny if I wanted to be, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I had a really hard time writing songs for other people in that way because it's a really specific type of songwriting, and it works. It feels true to me, not necessarily to if you write a song for Justin Bieber, it wouldn't be the same.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'd always had that like struggle, and now watching everybody come out of the woodwork, that I mean, people would introduce themselves to me, and I'd be like, "What? Like I did this meeting with you so many times."
No.
But it's funny. I like it. It was very full
No, there's
circle, and a
something satisfying
reminder
about it.
about like, hey, just a reminder. That was like, that's karma. That's like you're learning that you should just keep doing your own thing, and
yeah.
people will follow it. Like you don't really need to appease these people.
And
Yeah.
And if you manage to be able to keep doing your own, like obviously signing to a label like Atlantic's massive,
Mm.
did they let you have creative control still, or like?
Yeah. Atlantic's always been really fine about me writing what I wanted to write.
That's good.
Yeah. I think the label game in general is hitting a really awkward growth spurt.
I agree with
like,
that.
I think something is happening culturally where new media, like when you think about how hard the culture shifted with TikTok, when people can just make a song from their living room, if they're wise enough in their contracts and they're smart enough to have ownership of their business and be a CEO in it, which I can't even claim myself, and having had the experience I've had, like, then you realize that there's a lot of power in the people right now. And there's a lot of power in not kind of following suit in what the usual is. Like, you sign your record deal, you get this budget, you do your music videos, you do this, you do that, you go kind of like through the steps. And now I think everyone in the record label system is kind of having to unlearn those steps because people are just going at it from out of nowhere.
It was an old generation of stuff. So.
Yeah.
So were you able to like sort of negotiate something that worked for you at the time, or it's still difficult?
It's hard to look back and say, I try not to look back and be like, oh, I regret A, B, and C.
I mean,
I think that's a lot of artists.
Like, I think
it's
hard
which
because you
hard.
take this, basically you take one big leap and you go,
It's a stepping stone.
you go, I'm willing to sell X amount of the rights to my face and music, music especially.
Yeah.
The master records. I'm willing to sell this, and in exchange you will be acting as a bank that gives interest-free loans and then a whatever it is bonus. And then with that you have to kind of recoup all of those expenses and so forth every time, so you don't really see a dime in the music. And it's a trade that you make, and you go, okay, this trade makes sense because right now, at the time, I'm going to have to bet on myself for X amount of years or X amount of albums.
Yeah.
It's definitely a little bit of a dated system. I think it's slowly evolving right now, but out of nowhere, right, because of TikTok. And because of
TikTok. I've seen so many people talk about record deals.
I can rant for days about that.
Yeah,
I swear to God, but I won't. But the truth is, I think it's a good time. At least now, I always say to my friends, like, you're
we'll
creative,
see where
hop
things
on
move.
it. Like, it's a cool time for the people and the artists. So
I want to talk about the new album. So you have Dear Joe, which is by the time this airs, it's literally coming out in like 2 days. So
sick. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember that.
So can we talk about the new album? Are you cool with?
Yeah.
So it's a long time in the making. Well, technically, like you made this album and tell us about it in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like that's
you made
insane.
it in 3 weeks,
right? Okay, tell us about
pretty much like the crux of it.
Tell us
also
about this.
20 tracks.
I think it's so. You guys are so. First of all, like, random compliment. You guys are so good at this. Like, because you weirdly had tackled like everything that inspired the album. In perfect order. So you guys are killing it. I'm very impressed. I could never. Clearly,
we try.
Tell me your backstory, and for some reason, what did we just get into?
we try.
You guys are great because all of it happens to kind of tie in.
That's perfect.
Including the label conversation, because I had it's been not super easy being with a major, because everything we do is so ragtag, and we're so used to doing things on our own. And when we're most inspired is when we're rogue, and we're just like, that would be sick, let's do it.
Yeah.
And it's a lot more of a process when everyone's involved, and there's a lot of people, young people that are newly hired while they're, firing a lot of people. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this, but whatever. But they're, in a cultural shift. So it's, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the stock term?
Stock term?
When things are like,
volatile?
Yeah, it's a that word. There's a lot. I think there's volatility in the record industry right now, and it's like people are really fighting for their positions because people are getting fired a lot. So it's really hard for me to operate and be respectful and friendly when I'm like, I've been working at this since I was a kid.
Exactly.
And now it's finally working, and I need to keep going and run when I'm inspired,
Yep.
And it's really hard. It was a huge learning curve. It still is to this day. But I'll say pop punk was something that I was really naturally I was comfortable with, right? And it allowed me a lot of that freedom to be goofy.
Yeah.
Like even when we talk about like the song we just did, like you make me miserable. Like
the song that Jack. Well, I
Yeah.
can say it on air because it's fine. Like, so Jax is singing on a Somerset song, and I think I played it for Bowie, where it's like
really freaking good.
I love
it-
it.
but
No.
it's like,
Cute.
I'm not
So
just
good.
saying it. I was like, your vocal pops.
I mean, yeah,
It's
obviously
really good.
having
It
you
feels
on
comfortable, but the vocal's beautiful. Anyway, keep going.
your vocal, amazing.
But
yeah.
thank you.
But
It's very
yeah.
sweet. But it was that like conceptually, it's really goofy. You know,
Yes.
it's like straight.
It's
like,
perfect.
You say whatever you want. It's punk. So it's like you can be super serious and emo about it, or you can just make a joke and it's like kind of All American Rejects, like Gives You Hell, or
Everyone can relate.
Nashes, like if you think about
Yeah,
like Hot Shell Ray, that kind of feeling. And
Totally.
I love that stuff. I always love really tongue in cheek pop punk, and I tried it like right when I signed with the label, including Victoria's Secret itself, which was probably the craziest anomaly that TikTok had carried, because there is no space for it right now. It's like a really hard space to fight for
Right.
in editorial on digital streaming platforms like Spotify and Apple Music and everything. For the listener that doesn't know it, the biggest thing is you can get something super viral on TikTok on a video, but it doesn't necessarily mean it translates over to radio or it translates over to Apple and Spotify and everything like that, and New Music Friday and all the cool playlists, right? And so the big thing was crossing that bridge, and my challenge to myself was I really want to cross that bridge. I want to like bridge the gap between
With the new
culture
album?
and TikTok. No, originally.
With Victoria's Secret.
Yeah, right when I had signed, I was like, okay, well, I guess I have to experiment. And what I'm comfortable most with, especially live, is that Warped Tour era.
Right.
So I started doing it. I knew there was like a little taste of it everywhere with like MGK and even Post Malone.
yeah.
I was like, there's something here. It's definitely, but it was so hard to get playlisted. And I found that, the label and I were working against each other. And that is the same case in ballads. But I also naturally write ballads I like love it. I could write them in my sleep. This is the easiest, most comfortable,
Wow.
like my favorite place to write is ballads. And I could play on
Interesting.
piano and I could cry and sob and write this. And it just feels like my ultimate, the core foundation of my songwriting.
yeah.
And so since I was like, there is really no place to keep fighting for this pop punk thing, even though I love doing it, I might as well double down and go for the ballad. The other thing that, every record label, and they're like, another ballad. They want you to, just do a upbeat song and that's a cool summer bop.
Yeah.
And I love the heartfelt, emotional things. It's where I feel most free in the writing. So recently, at the top of the year, after I've had you were there.
I've been there for a little bit.
You were there for the year. It was a year. We had a year. Like a bad mental health year. We saw some things in Hollywood that took us off guard. We saw some things on tour that took us off guard. We weren't our best selves. We were in sheer panic and paranoia all the time. We saw the gross, perverse side of Hollywood that I was, they tell you about. You see Britney, you see like Amanda Bynes, you see people go down these. We saw it. Like we just got to witness it in so many ways.
You mean it was happening to you, and that's how you witnessed it, or
More so in the way of
yeah,
I don't know how
we
you
were
feel.
like it was like we were swarmed in a sense, like where it was constant. I think in this industry, something we had learned from that year is that so we were kind of on this peak of Victoria's Secret, right? And it was our first big thing, and we're so like wide-eyed about it, and doing the promo tour, 4 back-to-back tours, hadn't been home for more than a week, just burning our bodies in the ground. No such thing as a burnout. We were burning out. We were making decisions in burnout. We were hiring certain people in burnouts.
Yeah.
We were saying yes to gigs and yes to appearances and yes to everything just because we didn't want to miss our shot.
because you've tried so hard all over
Our
the
whole
years,
lives. And we're like, well, we have to, ride this wave while we can because you never know, right? And we're starting to experience as that peak kind of comes down, there's this weird emotional thing that happens, I think, in this city in particular. And I think that's when a darkness really starts to seep in. There's already a darkness in yourself where you're like, I'm insecure that I'm not going to be relevant. I have to write the next thing. I have to I have all this pressure from the label and the fans and myself. And how am I going to write the follow-up and the follow-up? Am I a one-hit wonder? These things go through your head. But really, I think there are some old Hollywood clubs, cults, whatnot, just a scene out here, even on the corporate and business side, where they'll sense that from you and kind of start to all peer in at once. And we're like, and sense that hey, don't worry, we got you. Like, come do this. Hey, don't worry, we got you. Come do it. We'll help
That's
you.
when all the contracts come out.
Yeah,
All
the
people are
contracts.
like, we
Yeah.
want to work with you. Like, come sign
How do we
this,
help?
like,
How do we help
yeah.
you?
Yeah.
So is all
Then
that
you owe them
coming at the
something.
just off the peak?
Just right at the peak, like literally, like right when they are,
Interesting.
because they'll know you'll be fighting for the follow up, and that this is the anxiety now. It's like
wow.
you could have this moment and just go away forever, or you can keep moving and keep writing. And we experienced such a year and such a bizarre thing when it came to our closest friends, or so we thought. Like there were some like people we've known since we were children, and that we didn't even realize the kind of things they were involved in, and the kind of scenes and the kind of groups,
Oh, you're
and
joking.
constantly. And it was in every direction, and so many egos, so many people that will convince you you're less than you are.
Oh my God! So
Like-
you'll sign a better contract.
I think this is what
No.
the thing about this fucking music community is.
Yeah.
Though is a lot of people pretending they know more than someone else and then trying to get.
There's a lot of
y-
bullshitting. going
Yeah,
on.
correct me if
Yeah.
I'm wrong,
Oh,
but I do believe it is
including
a lot of
myself.
that. But
Oh,
like
man.
we've all been through. You've been through it a lot. Like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying is like this is the things that like what our podcast is about is like we want to try to tell people what this community
Well,
is.
it's a lot
Yeah.
of
It's
smoke
obviously-
and mirrors.
We're not trying
It's
to be like
fucked
it's all
up.
bad, but we're trying to be like just beware of
Mm-hmm.
a bad deal, which is, to be honest, the second that someone gains, like you have a lot of success and people
Yeah.
are coming at you,
Yeah.
That kind of
trying
fame, because you
to-
had serious fame.
they're trying to get anything they can out of you,
I
right?
think for me, especially since, by the way, around all this time, we were planning a 500-person wedding. Like, we were getting married in
Ah.
November. So we also had the weight of the world on our shoulders on 3 tours in a row.
Yeah.
We were on the road. We were not getting along with the headliner.
Yeah,
We were not vibing with the egos.
yeah.
We were just not having a great time. We were struggling deeply in our friendships, our relationships. People were coming out of the woodwork. People were talking behind each other's backs. It was a lot of like
Ugh.
unnecessary drama. There was a lot of, and by the way, as far as my contracts went, like we were at least kind of smart enough to draw hard lines in the sand. It wasn't anything crazy on that front. It was more just the industry, the entertainment
People
industry.
you knew being weird.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Realizing like we were naive and we trusted a lot of people that were our close friends. And we realized, oh my gosh, this was so strategic how we had
Mhm.
landed here. Like we were invited to this party in order to get us here. And like there
Ugh.
was a lot that really, really put us in this such a dark place. A lot of like spiritual healing, like a lot of like praying on it. Like honestly, a lot of having like leaning on each other.
Thank God I was just thinking that. Thank
Yeah.
God you had each other, because imagine doing that on your own.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Never knowing who to trust. Also, like, even the learning curve of like the fans. I
Mm-hmm.
would hear these like heart-wrenching stories. I mean, you saw it too on tour. I would
Oh, yeah.
really go very much out of my way to make sure that people feel seen if they've gone through, especially, and then, I could like bring someone backstage and their mom would send me a DM. I'd see the DM. I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry that you're going through this. We're sending you a flight. We're sending you the backstage passes.
Literally,
Right.
100%. Jax was always like the one that was like anything that she would get a message and be like, this person, we're flying them out. Like they would have a
Ah.
heartfelt like, they'd be a family in need of something, and it would be
what
like,
would
what,
happen
I'm
with
having,
that?
and she would bring them out because this is her heart. This is Jax.
I don't,
Just,
and I
like,
still, by the way, I really do think that's all my parents and yours too. I've seen it, like,
And were they
just
all-
to do
were
unto
they all-
others, but like,
yeah, my parents are that way, but you to a different level. You bring like, and I mean this again. Obviously, this is why like you are literally a person who like you care about people, and this is why
Well.
like this is other art. Like I will just be honest. Like in this industry, there's a difference between people that like want to be an artist and they just want to be an artist to be an artist. You care about people that are fans of you. Like you,
Well, you've
the-
been on the long
I
road.
will say, like, you know, when you hit a rock bottom and you're like, hey, God, like, I promise if I ever got this opportunity, I would never let you down. Like,
yeah,
it's like I will do, like, good by it, right?
yeah.
I hit so many lows that by the time the opportunity actually
You're
came
like, "Here
in
it
my, like,
is."
mid to late 20s, I'm like, fuck, all right, I'm doing what I got to do, like, to make this good and make this real and, like, make sure if I have the opportunity to make a difference or that's why it glitched me out so hard because I'll be at a bar, you know, I'll be with my friends and
Yep.
and we want some privacy, you know, we want to just have a good night. And then I'll have a mother will come up to me and just kind of prop herself down at a table, but then she'll start telling me about her child who got really sick and how much I've helped her child's eating disorder. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, like as much as it's important to me to sit with my friends at this bar because they've asked for some personal time, I'm like, well, I mean, this moment with this woman is going to be so important in her life. And
Right.
and obviously I've helped to some degree, so this is an important moment in another space. And it's a stranger to me, but I'm grateful that, you know, it's a real
It's
trippy thing
very-
because they're real people. It comes back to that whole, like, you can't picture a million people. You can't picture
No.
Yes.
14
And
million
and the
Yes.
other thing is you can't cater for all the people. That's
Yeah.
the other thing. Like, how do
You-
you balance that? Because it's
I
You-
still don't know.
That's the thing is like you can't have every person, you know, you can't help every person in the world, right? Like as in like you
Yeah.
as an individual, like there's no way for you to help
Yeah.
every fucking person.
But when you think about it that way, then this like weird human element is taken out of it, and that's when you see like
yeah, right.
these celebrities that like can't function in society or talk to people like
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
humans. It's because they've like weirdly shut themselves off to
Off of-
it.
Which I
Yeah.
can see why it would happen.
Yeah, of
you
course.
know?
I mean, even me, like I'm like, you know, I'll play an arena and I'll walk off the stage and be like, that was such a kick-ass show, Jess. We crushed it. Next day I see a TikTok of the one note I was saying flat or the one stupid thing I said or did a dance move on something on stage that has 20 million views on it. I'm like,
Yeah.
there were 15,000 people in the arena. I felt like that was so magical. And then the next day I see 20 million people roasting 10
Yeah.
seconds, you know, and
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
there's the
It's so-
internet's so bizarre.
It's weird.
It's weird. And that, or like when I brought someone backstage to a show to help them, and then 6 months later they're like, hey, can you buy my kid the next like iPhone or this or that? Like it's like becomes a money.
Yeah.
They don't know no one knows each other's situation. So
Right.
It's tricky.
it's really tricky, but
and
anyway.
it like
I still love it though. I still really
no,
do.
we
course.
understand that, but
Yeah.
I'm telling, like, we know the fame thing is
Yeah.
weird as shit.
It's
It's
tricky.
hard to explain. Like, it's just it doesn't feel right.
No. Well, I don't think we talk about this a lot because there's this all these experiments on those, what are they called, the one-sided relationships with people on the internet
Oh,
where fans have a
where they
Jamie,
know
Google it.
where they know you. And
Jamie.
Yeah, here, Jamie. Yeah, like
Parasocial?
parasocial relationships,
Ah.
right?
I
Where
think.
you kind of feel like you've had this, and we've gotten, you know, death threats and this and that. You know, you report it because you have to, but like
Right.
we realize that there's obviously something going on where you're like,
Yeah.
they have convinced themselves they have a relationship. It's weird. It's really bizarre.
It-
but-
it's insane to get to that point though, right? Like where you're just like, oh, like, and then you start seeing these things, and then you're like, oh, I have to worry about someone literally threatening you. Like
Oh.
that's insane.
yeah.
That's
There, you know,
not okay.
yeah,
No.
it's weird. But I will say overall, I like truly 150%. My record label at its core is my fans, and
Yeah.
they're like the people that are dedicated to beating the odds with me
Yeah.
when I post something that is so not relevant or so uncool or so bizarre or so risky that it takes this like world of internet to like help me fight for a cause, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what Victoria's Secret was. That was the pop
Yeah.
punk that I'm like, oh, look at this.
Oh,
Tie it in.
tying it in.
Queen ADHD is about
There we go.
she's about to come full circle.
There we go.
And just
Here it
mentioning
comes.
that.
Here we are.
Wow. I should start a podcast.
Here we are.
She says that she's literally not stopped talking.
No, but tell us about that full circle.
So that was anyway, back to the original point. We had a year. We had a trust year. We had a moral compass year. We had a praying year. We had a marriage year. We got married in November. We invited, when I say 500-person wedding, it's not anything we could afford. We literally hoard ourselves out to every sponsor we possibly could.
feet pics.
We got robbed by like a crazy person that was helping us with the wedding.
Oh no.
Just a lot of sociopathy
Ugh.
going on.
It's difficult.
You want to spill any tea before I get in trouble?
Brave goes,
I'm gonna say some shit that's gonna.
Say some
Bro's
shit.
like,
Uh,
It wasn't me. He
Um,
didn't sign an NDA.
Yeah, I have not signed shit.
Ooh.
But
you can say whatever you
I'll
want.
just say,
Mhm.
the last 2 years have been crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of snakes came out of the grass.
Yeah, disgusting.
Over the last 2 years, especially last year, that a lot. It took a second when we were about to get married and think about our future family and everything. We started to realize that there were a lot of people that came out of the woodwork that we would never let hold our kids.
Facts.
Wow.
And that's
So true.
And that counts for new people that we met and also
Celebrities.
friends that we knew, like for a long
Wow.
time.
Like celebrities,
So
old friends.
it's just a lesson learned, and I think
did
I
that
don't wanna
inspire?
speak for you, but that's
Did that
kinda
inspire the new girl as a snake?
what after our honeymoon she locked herself in our guest room and wrote for 3 weeks
And that's one.
we
of the
went to
songs.
Antarctica for our honeymoon.
to get
Oh.
away from
We went
everyone.
off the grid to
That looked
safe-
amazing. I
Furthest
saw
place
that.
away from anyone that we
Yeah,
knew.
literally
Like,
no
we
one
wanted
could
to go
find
to
you
the
there.
furthest place
No one's
away.
gonna go
We're
there.
like,
for
where's
these
the
guys.
place in the world that is furthest to
Oh, I
Yeah.
was like, mate, that is the best. Like,
It was awesome. Yeah, it was cool. I mean, we got like really cool, a cool experience. Like our
Yeah.
friend hooked us up with like a really cool, like boat situation where we got to go out on a boat and spend a week in Chile and then a week in Antarctica.
Shout out
So
to A21.
Shout out to
Antarctic
A21.
21
We had-
cruise line.
Hey.
It's 21. Let
we
us
do
on
owe
your
you
boat.
a post.
This podcast is
You can
brought
cut
to you
that.
by
This
A21.
podcast.
Beautiful,
If you wanna
beautiful
put
ship.
Bowie
very
and
luxury,
Dress
high
on.
end.
We
A21.
shout out to Elmo. He was my favorite on the cooking staff. He was awesome.
They'll be like, it is
No.
not brought to us by.
We're like brought to you by Just Bowie. We swear. We swear. Please put us on your.
we'll be on your next
We
ship.
got
Please.
you. We'll hook you up. I mean, at least we'll give you the contact if you guys
We
ever want to
would
go to
love
Antarctica.
that.
I don't know how.
Dude,
what
I
it
do.
is, but
We didn't see
Who
any
did-
alians or ice
not.
walls.
But you saw fucking
No
penguins.
flat Earth, as
I'm
far as
in.
I'm concerned.
I legit
and
said to Jess, I want to know how this trip went. I said that to you at one point. I was like,
You
I want to
did.
know how your trip went.
Because no one
that's-
goes to Antarctica.
Yeah.
Like at least not
it
normal.
was hot. We tried to make an Antarctica baby, but we didn't.
That would have been cool.
As I'm sitting here at my tequila, like, yeah, we
It
tried.
didn't happen, but
we
tried.
did it, but you know,
Listen.
it's too cold.
We saw what, like 300,000 penguins or some shit.
One
Yeah.
beach had
That's crazy.
250,000.
Smell like
You
shit.
kidding me?
I saw your video with them. Oh.
Yeah, they stink.
I
Yeah.
don't
Do
care if
they?
they
Yeah.
stink. I'll wear a fucking mask. I had to wear a mask during COVID. I'll wear a mask and I'll fucking hang
She
out with the
likes
penguins.
They were
dog breath. She likes dog breath.
I
Yeah,
literally
you may
love-
like the stench
might
of
love it.
guano.
I'd
What
be
is it
like-
called? Guano?
Guano.
Ugh.
I might
Yeah.
be cute to me.
We
Chemical.
met. We were
Smells
so out of
chemical.
place on this cruise, I
Ew.
will say, and we loved every second of it.
That's good.
It was not an affordable situation for us, and we like got a really cool friend to help us out for our honeymoon. So like we met all these people that could afford the trip. They were like so much older than us, and we're like
really wealthy people. we were the degenerates on
I
that.
started lying that I was like this like crypto like billionaire. I was like, yep, that's me. Like all my shitcoin like finally paid off, and that's why we're here in
Oh my
Antarctica. Like it's just all fucking
Doge.
Doge.
I was like, shitcoin,
Oh,
Doge.
yeah.
I've
Yeah.
got Doge.
They were like, wow, she's like a crypto genius. Like, I'm like, yeah. I also write songs.
And I also write songs.
And that's just a side project.
Yeah, it's just like a little
That
side
fun,
project.
the crypto
Yeah, me,
fund
the
it.
crypto, the vibrators, like whatever.
Yeah.
The phones and the bags, you name it.
That is
I'm a
funny.
do my real estate, whatever.
Oh, it would have been a nice breath of fresh air to be mixing with people who didn't know who you were,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Or did they?
It no.
Nah.
Some.
Some of them
Yeah,
found
yeah.
out. They found out.
They're kids.
Oh, you're like, damn it.
They're kids. They're like, hey, we're here with these young people, and those are like, what the fuck? Like those are the
They
TikTokers.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Once we started filming content on the ship, they were like,
Those
oh,
kids are
these-
weird.
who are these people?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the album.
Dear Joe. Nothing to do with Joe. Biden.
No, but
Guys, the
people
album is
keep
called
saying
Dear
that
Joe.
to me.
Who's
Oh,
Joe?
who does?
I didn't
Yeah.
think of
Us?
that.
Everyone keeps going, it's about Joe Biden.
Because it's called Dear Joe.
Yeah.
That's fine. Whatever gets the
Yeah.
hype.
I would not have said that.
It's about
Originally.
Joe.
A
Joe Blow.
Joe Mama.
Joe Mama. Joe Mama.
Oh, Joe Mama.
To be honest with you guys, like it is like a lot of it is about really specific people in general. There's a chunk of it about one specific person, who in my brain metaphorically is Joe. But I think I wanted Dear Joe to me felt so like Dear
Generic.
John, like
Yes.
because it's a very angsty ballad album of like me
Mhm.
just really just pouring my heart out onto
Yeah.
the keys, right?
Yeah.
And I took a total left turn. I like didn't do any pop punk. The only like pop punk vibe is Victoria's Secret on the album,
Yeah.
and the rest is just like bizarre. And there are, for every song there is an interlude.
Now she
There's
played
yeah.
nine
She played
interludes, right?
two to me
Yeah,
before, and I
9.
was like, I said that's
There's
very clever.
it's stupid. It's
No,
all
I
goofy.
said
like,
clever.
So 9 interludes. It's amazing.
Yeah,
I really liked it.
Thank you. I always loved an interlude, so I was like, why not just do so many of them? Because I had so many songs. I thought I
many.
had an album ready, like in that year, and then I didn't realize, like from the experience that year, what I really
Ah.
wanted to say. So I scrapped a whole album, and then I rewrote this one in
It's
3
insane.
weeks. Went out to Nashville for week 3 with Hardy, got Zombieland with him, and it was like really fun.
Yeah. Which is insane. Because
And
Hardy
Psycho.
is. Yeah. You had 2 songs with Hardy.
Yeah,
So
which is-
explain everything, because for the listeners who don't know anything.
I just had a creative. I was really shut down for that trauma
Yeah.
year we were talking about, and I saw some things even just in Hollywood in general that had confirmed a lot of even my conspiracies. I was like, whoa, like I did not expect this. There is such a dark, bizarre scene out here, and even as a self-proclaimed babysitter, I was like, kids should not be here. Our future kids should not be here. This is really, really dark, and we just started locking the doors and not going outside. And I wanted to write that. So I was like, lock your
Right.
doors, stay inside. And then naturally my brain went, hide your kids, hide your wife. Because it was like, remember, hide your kids, hide your wife. That.
Yeah.
So I wanted to put that in a lyric. And the first song I had written on this body of work was called Jelly Beans, a.k.a. The Purge, which was the fact that I was sitting on the couch eating jelly beans in a very dark place last year. And I remember thinking, every now and then you eat a jelly bean that just fucking sucks, and it looked really good, and it was like, oh god, I got like the fucking
I got
root
black.
beer flavor.
You got something
licorice,
random, and you're like,
licorice.
what is
Yeah, I'm
this?
like, oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was
Oh,
chocolate, but it
green.
wasn't.
Yeah.
And I was like, that reminds me of everyone I meet in this city.
I mean,
Everyone I've ever known.
that's
So I was
actually
like,
a good
that's
analogy.
so
I wrote it
Good.
down, and I was like, so the first line of the whole album is jelly beans stress me out, because one time I bit into one that looked like cola, but it tasted more like shit. And
Yeah.
it was like, and if jelly beans stress me out, how the hell am I supposed to make friends when every time I trust someone, they fuck me in the end? And it's like, all just, or
and,
like,
and then like the verse of that is like, I don't know, you say like a little
It's-
campy, and then it goes into
yeah.
welcome, like it goes into this like
It's like-
badass,
Cool.
like epic, like, you know what I mean? Like it's like this like campy, like what she's talking about of like
yeah. It's
meeting.
bizarre.
Yeah, but it's
Tell them the chip line too. I love the chip line.
oh yeah.
The second verse.
All
with-
my life I thought air was free until I bought a bag of chips. And then I also thought my best friend wouldn't be the one talking shit.
Oh, yeah.
Because
So
a bag
good.
of chips, it's like
Bag of chips.
$3 for a bag
Yeah.
of chips,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
it's half
until
air.
air.
It's
Yeah.
half air.
So anyway, the entire purpose of the album was like, for me, I wanted to try to, my goal is always to consolidate everything into one little tiny space. So I'm like, look, I want to take what I've learned when it comes to new media And for me, that was the interludes. I had a lot of late night thoughts, like tweet type of thoughts, where I was like, these could never be songs. Like Epstein didn't kill himself as one of them. Like that can't be a real song. But then again, either could anything on TikTok. Either could Stacey's mom from Stacey's mom's point of view. But I'm like, I might as well. So I wanted to kind of bring short form and the TikTok experience over to the album. If I'm going to do my first album, I want people to feel like what it feels like to scroll through my TikTok and how they know me and how we've all made these relationships, you know. And then in between, I wanted to kind of tell my story of the things I've been feeling deeply for the last few years. And it was not in pop punk form. It was all mostly in ballad form. Some of it's about experiencing what it's like to watch your parents get older and like the fear that you have when you watch them like, you know, lose the sharp thing they had before and things start getting like fuzzy, and the fear you have of your parents getting sick and dying. Some of it's like after that one is like one that's like, if I die, make sure everyone gets fucked up in my funeral. That's an interlude. You know, like
I haven't heard that interlude yet.
I'll show you. It's really just, it feels like an inner monologue a little bit, but that is a Julia Michaels. She's the throne of the inner monologue, but it felt like I wanted to just pour it out onto paper.
Yeah.
And so I didn't
with the interludes, were you like, did you think, oh, this is something I'm going to present to the label? Is it risky?
Yeah.
And were they like, oh, that's cool? Or were they like, nah?
Neither. I think the cool thing about Atlantic is that they, every single time it's been so bizarre. So they're like, fuck it. Well, it could work, I guess. I don't know.
Every other time
really crazy that you wrote a song called "The Clap," and like Epstein didn't kill himself. The second song on your debut album is Jacob's Bathwater. That's bizarre. But just like all around on TikTok, like the thumbnails and stuff like that, and the clickbait of the new media and the attention span. I thought it'd be funny to make the second song on the album called something outrageous to get them to click the second song.
Right.
So it's called Jacob's Bathwater.
Okay.
And then
this is full circle right now.
Oh,
about to go full
we
circle.
are good at full circle.
The song literally itself is all, now that I have your attention, you dirty little sicko freak, please listen to my album or I'm gonna have to sell photos of my feet.
All of our feet has a...
we didn't even plan this full circle.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Yeah.
Because she even played that to me before.
Yeah.
Well,
there it is. These 8.8s.
These
are
8.8s
out.
are-
That's why you think I just took my shoes off for no reason.
3. And that is why mine are covered up, because I'm a 3.
No, you're not. Come on. Don't listen to the haters.
mean,
don't listen. They didn't have an actual picture of your feet.
They don't know
Come on,
you.
let's be real.
You just gotta post more feet pics.
You did. Now you just know.
My actual feet are a 2, actually.
No, honestly, I think mine are. Someone the other day, I posted like a story and like some random guy, some random dude, like in his 40s, just like DM me and was like, I could tell exactly what kind of bunion that is.
Oh,
Oh no.
and you're like, no,
I was like, I have
You don't have a bunion.
no,
That's what I thought, but maybe I don't
Oh,
know.
but
Like
you're
they
like-
kind
now
of
you're looking at your feet. You're like, do I?
no.
Do
They also, to the trolls out there, stop doing that.
No,
because
but like it wasn't. It was the guy that was like genuinely
he's
trying
like,
to help
oh,
me.
no.
He's like, actually, you've got a bunion. You're like,
He was like, I know so much about this bunion.
no,
He's like, I can tell you exactly what great this bunion is.
because you do hear about people going, I saw a lump on the side of your head, and then they get it fixed and blah blah. Like,
Oh my god. This is why the internet should not be
The
for
internet-
everyone.
Dude
No.
needs to get a different hobby.
Also,
Yeah,
I
completely.
deleted
I rate
Twitter.
females' bunions
Yeah.
on Instagram.
Yeah.
Have you on Twitter? 'Cause, I mean,
no, I deleted Twitter.
I delete Twitter,
Yeah.
but then
X.
It's not really
occasionally I
called
log
anymore.
on.
X?
Yeah.
Oh, I know it's X, but whatever. I log on every now and then and clap back at everyone. Hello.
Oh no! Oh no!
Can we clip that? We need to clip that one.
Oh no!
Hello.
That's gonna be the clip.
That's the clip.
That's all it
Jack's
is.
handing you Jess is just unaware and then oh yeah,
Oh,
for sure. Oh no.
I mean, I freaking
C4 looks so good.
Wow!
yeah. C4.
Everyone loves C4.
C4.
Whoa! If only
I
I
have
had
some
C4
energy.
Never tried it.
I
Day.
heard C4 is like super good for bunions.
Dude,
It's really good for
it's
bunions.
good for everything.
Look at her bunion going away as she drinks it. It just disappeared.
Can we edit my phone to just sort of like shrink?
Also, is your sock inside out?
Yes.
Also, I don't have matching socks on, just so you know. But mine are covered up, unlike yours.
It was good, but
In my belly.
it's my belly.
You're like, I poured everyone else a drink. No, so Twitter, dodgy brother. Like, I literally get on there, I clap back at 45 people, and then I delete it again.
I don't even care to
No,
I don't even look
feel
at
like
it anymore.
a part of it is also like, if you don't clap back, it does stop them for a bit. But it's endless.
I
That's
will
the
say
problem.
one thing that I saw, and I don't say that everyone should do this, is one thing that I saw someone say, I can't remember who it was, and they said, you could only get knocked down so much before you need to stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
And, like, I do agree with that.
That's me.
Like, I do agree with the, like, because...
I'm like the trolls. That's
like
it.
yeah, like at a certain point, and like this is the reason why some people do clap
Yeah.
back, is it's like at a certain point there's only so much that you can take as you're getting beaten down. And like I totally agree with that before you want to be like, fuck you.
And
But-
it stops it temporarily. It stops it.
Although I will say that line does not exist with you when it comes to protecting other women.
Jess
Oh!
is a savage.
I
Not
will
herself.
The
Herself.
amount
she's
of
right.
times that I've almost had to jump in front of a bullet for
We
not a
are
bullet,
both
but
terrible
a
with
punch
this.
for Jess.
Sticking up
It's
for
all
people.
for sticking up
She
for
will
people.
stand
She
up
has
to
no line.
anyone,
She's
bro.
like,
I have no
what
line.
the fuck did you just say?
And then I'm like, Jess, no. Like,
It's fine. He just wanted to find validation. My parking validation.
Someone might have literally said it in the wrong way of like, well, you owe, and you owe what?
What the fuck did you say she did?
Jess,
This is her.
She only owes $5
will square up
instead of
to
$100
anyone in
because she gets
defense
the
of her
artist
friend.
discount. And I'm like, no.
This is her. When I'm in the Big Brother house, she's
The fuck you
freaking
said she
fighting every single person on the internet.
Fuck you.
The fuck you said she owes?
So I owe her 4 months of fighting back.
the amount of times that Jess has stood up for one of us,
Yeah.
and I've been like, please don't,
By the way,
because
amidst
we are
this
all
scene,
gonna get clobbered
amidst
right
the
now
year
by
we're
this guy
telling
in
you that we're
Australia.
having, we're like every time she knows we're on edge because she's been on tour with us for a year now,
Yeah.
and she's hyper aware of the things that are making us feel insecure.
Yeah.
So like the second it happens, you can like see her from across the room, just like. I'm sorry.
Did I hear that right? Because
She's like that
Yeah,
guy from
like-
X-Men with the laser eyes.
Yeah.
Just like immediately, just like.
And we're like,
Go
oh
there.
fuck! Look at you, Dig. You woke
God
it
damn
up.
it, Jess is looking.
You woke her up. You poked the beast. I didn't tell you to do this. I have to leave now. Good luck with her.
oh my
She's
God.
like, "Ah," she'll kill him. Like I swear.
It's the same with you on Big Brother. Literally the same. Anyone that's fucking posted anything about
she
her
was in the freaking
on Big
chat
Brother, and I was
rooms.
just like, yeah. You want to talk about her on Big Brother? Someone said something. It was literally
Yeah.
if Bowie's a DJ, something about Bowie not being a DJ, and I was like, if Bowie's
no,
not,
Bowie's not a real musician or something.
and I was like, well, if Bowie's not a real DJ, then I'm not a real drummer or something. Like
She's
literally,
on there
I was
going-
just like going at like, and like I can't help it, and I know that it's like not worth my time. It's not, but
Should we share?
I was like, you guys.
Shit.
I knew that. I looked back and I was
okay,
like,
all right, come
All right,
on.
here,
I was like, this is
let
reminding
me
me
paint the picture,
of
and then she'll take
something.
it over.
Okay,
all right?
okay.
So
Wait, oh no.
I got
He's
a
gonna
comment
cry.
the other day. Well, yeah, but like it was directed at me.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
So
really
she
mean.
posted a TikTok, and
just if you
read
could
it.
tag us, because I'm gonna fight her already. But anyway, keep
well,
going.
we already
No.
dealt with this
Okay.
individual.
Tony.
But
I
so
will.
His name's Tony.
so
Tony.
Tony decides to comment on one of her TikToks
I hate him.
saying, he will be riding your coattails until the day you get divorced. So
What a
she
dick.
shows me this comment, and I immediately
so
I'm going into Jess
You're going
mode.
into
I'm
me.
just like,
You're going-
I'm gonna fucking rip
Slap.
this guy. Like I'm about to tear
I'm
him
like,
apart.
bro.
She's like, bro, it. She's like,
Listen.
wait. This guy's like 60 years old
What a
on TikTok,
could
on
tell.
a girl's
You
TikTok.
could tell that he's.
You
like
could tell his
another-
account
No,
is
he's
like
like
a
a-
car
he's like a-
photo or some shit.
What's
like,
the equivalent of a Karen, but a guy?
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
a,
yeah,
it's
what
a
did
Joe.
they say?
It's a Joe.
A Joe?
We'll call him
It's a
Joe.
Joe.
Okay.
It's a
I
dear
get
Joe.
it.
Yeah, it's a Joe.
It's a placeholder, but yeah.
So,
okay.
Or a
if it
Tony.
works with the album, we should say.
Or a Tony.
I think
But,
it is a
um,
Joe.
It's
you're
giving.
We really need to glue these on.
So anyway,
That's what
Jax
I'm saying.
decides
like
she's
half
like,
a-
wait, don't comment, but I'm I'm gonna find this guy online. I could find his information.
Oh,
You're
Are you
good at
serious?
this shit. Jax is good at this
Wait,
shit.
you
I
said
have
that
to
or
say.
she said it? You,
Sorry,
oh,
is that bad
she
for
was
me
like-
to say? I feel like you
Oh, we're all
If there
the
is
same.
any
We're
passion,
all the
people
same.
ask me like, "What would you do if you were in
private
a
investigation.
Yeah.
Dude, I would love to be
PI.
a private eye.
Literally PI Jax
Oh,
over
I
It's
can
here.
see
insane.
it.
It is
I
insane.
have. It brings me so much joy.
So you-
PI
So
Jax.
she
Did you
tells
find
me-
the person?
Yeah, so she tells me, don't comment.
find the
Let's do
person?
something
Joe?
better. So she's like,
How
I could
fast
find this guy's
you meant.
phone number in 10 minutes. She does.
No last name, by the way. I just want to like flex on that. Like, 'cause it was like just
Exactly.
like
No
just
last-
username, just
you
last
literally
username
found
and a
a-
profile
Also,
picture.
like,
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Cybersecurity.
No videos
like,
either.
Protect your shit online. Highly
Well,
encourage
too
that.
late.
Older
mate.
people, they don't
No.
at
No.
all.
No, I could tell
Like,
this was
we're
an old
aware
man.
of it. They're not.
I could tell. No, I could tell this guy was in. I don't
He
know,
was
like
like
50s, like yeah.
50s.
And also
50s,
maybe
60s probably.
not-
Yeah, 50s,
60s,
60s.
yeah.
Mm.
Maybe a little
She,
older than our
find,
parents.
she finds
Okay.
she finds not only his wife's name, his
Oh!
entire everything.
You
Address,
should.
landline.
And
So-
I hope
So-
you told her.
So
and you're like,
Jax,
"Okay."
we decide
We were like, you know
more
what? I was like,
poetic
babe,
justice
calm
was-
down.
was necessary.
Because he was like so angry, and I was like, "Oh my god, why are you
Hey,
angry at this like
Lucky
rando?"
You didn't know about this.
I mean,
No,
listen,
we just
here's the
happened.
thing. The difference is I do it. I don't do the PI shit. What I do is the in person. So like we could be a team.
You punch
we could be a
on.
team. They could do the. They could tell me who to fuck.
Like Jimbus,
Jimbus.
Jimbus Christ.
Dude,
I never even
kinda-
deep dive on
you
that
do have to
motherfucker.
loosen your symbols,
Okay, wait.
bro.
Okay, anyway.
Wait,
keep going.
because we have to get to that. That's
Alright.
that needs to happen.
That's a whole other thing.
because
Yeah.
I'll go off on
We
that
gotta talk about that
for
now,
about
but-
20 minutes.
Yeah.
He was like initially because it's such a like it's a trippy thing when you take one step back, and it's to our original point is like we're not built for this. We're not built for this kind of technology. We're not like I know we always knew it from like cyberbullying. Like and how they were spreading awareness about cyberbullying and like how you could catfishing and fake your identity and what it is to hide behind a screen and all these things. You know, you think about these young influencers terribly abused in this city, influencers and actors and singers and whatever kids. Like it's you have to at this point for me the only way I can approach those kind of comments of hey he will be riding your coattails until you get divorced. It's like you have to the only way to humanize it is if you imagine a world where I'm sitting in a coffee shop and I'm sitting there enjoying coffee with my husband, and some 65-year-old Tony comes up to me, some Joe, and he's like, "Hey, I just want to say." He'll be riding your coattails until the divorce. And I'm
Not
like,
a
the only
shot
way,
a
and
guy
then when
says
you
that.
think of, when you imagine that scenario, when you
Yeah, you're
humanize
like-
it makes it a lot funnier because you're like, this is crazy that people
No,
have
no
the
one would do that.
audacity.
100%.
So I thought it'd be funny to like start a YouTube series where since I'm so good at stalking people on the internet, that especially that age, I'm like, it would be really funny to like find him and then call him and then say the comment to his wife or to him. So like if he called his wife and said that to his
That
wife
is good.
and
We
was
did
like,
it, we did
hey
it.
Trish,
Oh!
and was like, hey Trish, just wanted to let you know that Tony's been riding your coattails and he'll probably ride your coattails until the day you get divorced. Like on the phone
And
to this random 6-year-old woman. And so we called them. I finally found their number. And
this is
it's so
good.
creepy because you could never imagine. Like, can you imagine even trying to explain that to your wife?
No.
On how that went down?
That was the point. Was to,
Yeah,
to
like,
have
just like
him
to
explain
freak him
that he's
out.
A
Exactly.
6-year-old
This is the first time
man's
we've talked about
commenting
it.
on a
Like,
young
we've
girl's
never, we just did this for
TikTok.
fun at night.
Because otherwise he's at home watching television like no one
Yeah.
knows.
No, that's
like,
what happened. We
Can you
called
imagine
from a
though? How do you
private
explain
number.
that
Right.
to your wife? Oh,
Right.
this 14 million follower TikToker girl, age 28, that I was roasting on TikTok about her and her marriage. I was just yelling at her that she was going to get divorced and that her husband's riding her coattails on some like TikTok kid that
Dude.
babysits. Like, what? How do you even explain that to your wife?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, and my dad could never explain that to my mom.
No.
You know, my mom would be like, "What the fuck are you doing commenting on some 28-year-old
Yeah,
kids like
100%.
some
And
young
like,
girls
and
like
now I'm worried.
about her marriage?
Yeah.
Like, that's bizarre that,
That
you're
is
doing
the
that."
best fucking point ever.
Just saying,
about,
like,
about all these fucking
It's
dudes
bizarre.
that
It's
wanna
mentally ill.
comment.
Like, it's bizarre.
It's so you called?
So we called him,
We had a
and
whole plan.
I was like,
It was like if he answers, if he
I have a
answers, she
video.
talks. If
You
the
have a
wife answers,
video?
then I talk. Yeah, we do.
Oh,
not-
show you the receipts.
my
I have the receipts.
God.
We
We
can't
filmed
post
it.
it
because he blocked me after, which he was like trying to probably figure out whether it was me or a fan
He
or something.
blocked you?
Because he was probably freaking out, like how to explain this to his
No.
friends when I go on the internet and be like, say the same comment
She
just to him.
calls and she's like, I forget the wife's name, but he
Trish.
answers.
I do. It's
Oh, so
Trisha.
you with your
Sorry.
voice, like a female voice. So
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
like,
We
oh,
planned
fuck.
basically if the guy answered, I was going to talk, and if the girl answered, he was going to talk.
Okay.
So he answered, and I was like, is this Tony? And he was like, yeah. Hi, who is this? Because I called on a restricted number. And he was like, I was like, hi, this is a friend of Trisha's. Like, can I talk to her really quick? Like, from the hair salon.
Oh.
And I was going to pass the phone over to him once
Yeah.
so he could say, just so you know, you and Tony. So I was like, he holds for like a minute, silence on mute. Answers the phone again, goes, who is this again? Like, who are you? I was like, I'm a friend of Trisha's. Like, he's like, well, you called on a restrict number. I'm going to have to know who it is. We looked at each other. We panicked. We were like, fuck. That's not working. And he just goes, you go. I was like, well, you know what? I just wanted to say, I think Trish is riding your coattails. And that she'll be riding your coattails until the divorce. And the guy was like,
And
what?
he gave a little like, what did you just say? And then she repeated it.
I was like, I said, Trish is riding your coattails, and she will be riding your coattails until the divorce. And he was like, haha, very funny.
No, he went.
So
Haha,
he-
that's a good one. Like he was very nervous.
So
like,
he
and
kinda-
he
he kinda
knew.
knew.
Just
He
got
knew.
it, like just clicked that
Yeah.
maybe the person, the young 28-year-old girl, he just commented on the photo, the newlyweds of this two human beings with like you can pinch and will bleed, like that. He just processed. Like
He said good one.
good one.
He said good one.
And,
Yeah, it was
and
like,
then he
oh,
hung up
that's- or,
really
like, That's
fast.
funny. Like that's a good one.
Yeah, and he
then
hung,
he hung
up.
up.
Yeah, and he freaked out because then I was imagining he's probably looking outside his window. Like, are they like watching
we
him
hope
or
they're
something?
paranoid
Like,
as fuck.
it's so
like,
bizarre. Can you imagine? You comment on like I don't know, like Billie Eilish's picture,
Dude,
and you were like, "Shut up,
literally.
idiot!" And like then
And
Billie
then-
Eilish calls you.
And then
Yes.
calls you out.
Yes.
Like that's what I'm
exist.
saying. Like that's the.
we should be better at this. We should do this to the
I just thought it
trolls.
like helped us heal in it because like you know like
oh, it's so fun.
he's like very behind the scenes, so he gets comments like this like
Yeah.
a lot where it's like all the men of the internet are like, oh, like who is that guy? You know, and
Yeah,
they're really
everyone's
mean, but they would never
meanwhile,
say
like,
that.
I hate being in front of the camera.
He hates it.
Yeah.
Like I don't. She makes me sometimes. She's like,
do.
yo,
Yeah.
I just wrote this song about my period, like, or
I
like whatever.
killed
Like,
He
and she's
killed
like,
that.
I need you to stand here, like.
You're so good
like,
in front
we
of the camera,
sing a
by the way.
song,
Just so
like-
you know, Brave. I'm
No,
gonna
Thank
say.
you. Tell
I
him.
think you're a natural.
I agree.
But
Second.
you know,
That is the
it's fine.
best
To each their
way.
own. If you don't feel that way,
The fact that he's
I'm
even
an
on camera right
extroverted
now.
Introvert.
you
Facts.
like you are so good in front of the camera. I
What's that
only
Kendrick line? I'm a
Extroverted.
Ho.
introvert.
I'm a hoe.
I'm
no,
a-
no, no.
I just
Uh,
made that bit up. Actually.
A minor. I'm a
Yeah.
minor. Yeah. That's
Antisocial extrovert.
Oh, antisocial. Extra. Yeah. Yes.
Mm.
We love.
Well,
We love
That
Kendrick.
is so. We need to learn from this
we do.
and try and clap back better.
Clap back better.
I
Like,
just find that
I
it's
try.
healing.
Let's
like it's
clap back
therapeutic.
with a
I just think
PI.
it's sometimes like so. Again, sorry, this is going so long. We're gonna end this after this, but like you can only get
What?
so much hate before you want to like
Yeah.
say something
No, it's
because
so unfair. The hate.
it's just like
No,
yeah.
they don't think you're real. They do not think you're real. And
It's
the
very
moment
Hunger
you,
Games, but
Yeah,
like it's.
It's a very like
but in the same breath,
The moment
I'm
you
sitting
write
here
back-
writing this album about like those people. So I'm
which
like,
is why
I
love your
hate.
album.
I like this scene out here and the like the A-listers and all of it. Like they are as fucked up. Like it is.
Yeah.
Like sorry, but like
yeah,
it is dark. So it's like there is this like huge class war going on
Yeah.
where it's like there's this very intentional like deep-rooted ancient like very much calculated design that like there are the people. It's like almost sorry. There are the
and then we're
people-
at Adobe.
it's like
with
it's
the-
giving like Vikings territory
Oh,
where it's
yeah.
like
Seriously.
we're all like fighting in a like
It's brutal.
there's people dying all over the world right now. There's
100%.
genocide. There's just like
And
all
we're
these
talk-
things, and then there are the
Yes.
people that are in charge, and there are the A-list celebrities that are like ding, and it's we get to kind of see it in this zip code weirdly.
Yeah.
And for the first time, we've been invited to things where we're like, what the fucking
Yeah.
fuck? Like
Yeah.
it is crazy, and
100%.
so I get why there is this like wall up when it comes to.
Yep.
But that's the trippy thing about TikTok is like people don't know. Not to say that I'm like anything special, but like at this point, I have not had that like attention before and that amount of success. So I'm like, yo, I'm just a person. Can you please stop yelling at my marriage? Like I just got married. Like that really hurts. But like if I was you have to like almost divide yourself, and the whole intention is to separate yourself from just the public, and that's not my intention as a person or as an artist. I want to dive into the public because I am the public, and I want to like sing what people. I want to make people feel something, and like I hate the concept of, you know, after X amount of followers or verification, or you're hanging out with these people or you're seen with these people, that all of a sudden you're now in this tier, because I don't personally get along with a tier. Like I have a tricky time in all of it. I'm in this weird little purgatory of not knowing what's human and what's not. And it put us in like a, am I explaining this right? Like where it kind of put us in a mental health spiral.
It put us in a withdraw and just stay home.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
we
that's
don't
two
like
dogs.
going out. Like, we
high
literally
level
just
of fame. It's
Yeah.
we
common.
watch Game of Thrones for the 5th
Yeah.
time. You know,
Yeah.
like we just
It's true.
chill at home, and if we have something that we need to do, we'll go out. And other than that, we order Indian food and
Because it's take
That's it.
a
Anna Bar.
bit, actually. So
Anna Bars.
Anna Bar, shout out to Anna Bar's Golden Hills. It's a great Indian place.
unfortunately, the bad people have wrecked it. They wreck it for the millions of good people,
Facts.
the good fans. Like,
But you
It's
guys are
just,
doing
you
the right
know.
thing. Like that's why it
what,
was.
punching people.
Dude,
yeah.
Jess
Jess,
was like
Jess
our
is here
saving
because
grace over the last couple
we
years.
thought
Like,
about it. Like
Jess
straight
is
up because
the one thing.
well,
Well,
I was
and
like
Nash, and
because
Nash.
we were looking for a drummer, and I was like, I want like a badass female drummer,
Yeah.
and he was like, why not Jess? Like, let's hit up Jess. I was like, oh,
We didn't know if we could.
I
get
can't do
Jess.
that. Like, I can't just ask
Just
her
like
to do
the
that.
fuck- And I
Like,
was
I was
thinking,
like,
like,
oh
why?
fuck. I was freaking out. I was like, no, don't be weird. Like, don't be weird. Don't ask her. Like, she's no way she has time to do this. Like, literally, like bugging out. And then you were just like, yeah, for sure, let's do it. Like,
Yeah.
I was like,
It's so
Jess
were,
is
like,
the best. We'll be
fangirling.
sitting in like a tiny room, like tiny, like the size of the couches right here.
Yeah.
And Jess is just like
Jess.
rolling with the punches. Like I'm
Jess
like,
and I have
Jess,
seen
I'm
some
so
shit.
sorry. Like
Half
we
the
don't
time
have,
I'm
like,
also-
enough
I'm
room,
like, you want me to not be here? I'm like,
Yeah,
literally,
yeah.
I'll be like, I can
No.
go fuck off. Because,
no, never.
but that's the thing about Jax is also why she's so fucking cool. It's like, I've played with some artists where they're just like, oh no.
We want you to leave.
And I'm just like, but Jax is like, no, are you kidding me? Like, you're my
Like,
friend.
don't
You're
leave
here.
me.
Like, why would I tell you not to be in my dressing room? And I'm like, oh,
Yeah, 'cause
okay.
she's real.
And I'm so used to being like,
Ugh.
dude, like I'm professional in the sense of like, I know what I'm like hired to do.
yeah.
These are the parameters. I can
Aw.
go and be in this like I
You
could be
want
in a
me to be
fucking
here?
hallway
I know.
for all you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've been in those situations before, and like not to say that that's like obviously preferable, but like it's just like great to be with friends that are like absolutely not like get the fuck in here and hang, and it's like oh that's cool.
Well,
like
we grew up. I never had that. So like for me, it was so 0 to 100 that like we grew up in the same space where only we were in bands. So
Yeah, we
when
were just
the
in
band,
bands.
when the band leaves the green room and I'm like alone with my
you're
like
like what's happening?
Capri Suns
Oh,
and like
right.
prosciutto, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
like, I
Do
don't
they
want,
hate
I
me?
don't
I
want
was
this
like,
on
I
my
want to
own.
be alone. Like I'm like, oh my god, where are they? Like we're about to go
Yeah.
on stage. Like as
Like
if
how do
they're,
we
like,
get like connect
not-
on stage if we're like separated?
I
That's
know,
right.
and because of that, truly, I think we have like the most fun because we just do stupid fucking shit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's
the
also,
last
like,
show in Australia, they don't even realize.
Oh, we didn't
Which
tell
city?
you.
Which city?
I think was this the what we did.
Perth or Sydney. What was the one we like?
The last one we did was Sydney.
Sydney.
Or
Where we put
Adelaide?
the-
No.
No, it was Sydney.
was the
Okay.
last show.
Where we put the things
no,
in your
Sydney was
ears,
your
where
last
you thought
show.
it was in the.
He put so like you know that Dixon Dallas song is like he's bouncing off my booty cheeks.
Yep.
I love the way he rides. So on our tour,
Excuse me.
so Nash made a remix of Morgan Wallen
Oh,
meets
I saw it,
like
I think, right?
Bussy, like boy
Bussy into the tracks though.
Yeah.
Sneezing.
So, but he put it in one of my songs.
So it
on
was
stage, and I had like a
In her
fever.
inners.
By the way, I was like had pneumonia on
Oh,
stage.
so you were
that
like-
day.
She got really
But
sick.
it was
for
as
a
a
while.
joke.
Like-
So basically, it was as a joke to fuck with her. It wasn't actually in the
Oh,
house.
but we didn't know.
But
It was just in
so
her
all
inners
it
and,
was
like, the click
was her
track, it would
singing
say
something,
pussy
and it'd be like,
every
"What song
once in
was
a while.
it? Snake or which song
No,
was it?"
Adam Sandler.
Oh, so it was her singing.
Like,
Sing the
what
verses.
would Adam Sandler do? Pussy, pussy,
Wait,
pussy.
So you
Pussy.
could hear
Pussy.
this?
Is that
You
what it
could
was?
hear this in your ears?
Yeah, but didn't know whether or not it
But
was
it
in
was
front of
only in our
house. So
ears.
like, because I had my ears in, that I didn't know whether or not the crowd heard it.
I would
So
be
I would, like-
freaking out.
I
What would
was
Adam
freaking out.
Sandler say?
Say pussy,
Pussy, pussy, and like,
pussy.
so she's thinking
Boy
that's going
pussy.
into the like.
I would be freaking out.
I'm sitting there
the crowd.
thinking I have to explain to Australia what a boy pussy is.
Well, that's the thing, and so
I
like
don't know if they know this
I mean,
thing.
pussy in Australia
I
is
just got there.
bussy. It was bussy.
Bussy, hard B.
Oh,
so
pussy.
like,
We wouldn't know what pussy meant.
Well,
but pussy is that.
I didn't know
That's
if
the
it
same
was
here.
like a term. All I knew is that like Dix and Dallas did Bussy, and we put it in a Morgan Wallen song, and we thought it was hilarious on tour. And then Dash thought it was a really funny prank to put
I
it
would
in
be
my
like,
ears.
never prank me ever again.
No,
Like,
I
Well,
thought
and
it
she
was
was like-
iconic.
But she was like on stage, and we were like,
was
"Oh,
good.
what's going on?" She was just like, she
oh, so
didn't-
you
she
ran with it.
She
Well,
ran, oh,
what am
of
I gonna
course.
do?
She's
My
also
panic.
a pro.
Yeah.
First of all,
No,
She's
like
my
there's
panic.
no like world
So
where
did
she's
you
not.
start going pussy?
No, because I was just kind of
No,
like trying to
she's
like
like-
see the crowd, like whether
She
or not
knows
they
that
heard what I was
Oh,
hearing.
okay.
I was like,
Bussy's only in her
and
ears.
and she's got a fever.
I'm cracking up too. By the way,
yeah,
I'm,
where
like,
she's looking at me
dying.
and we're laughing.
So I'm like-
I'm laughing. She turns to me, and I'm just literally laughing at her.
I would have died.
Without like, I didn't realize there was probably panic in her eyes.
I would be
Yeah,
panicking.
We were laughing because I was like, oh yeah, this is in your ears, but I didn't realize like there's probably panic that she's like,
she didn't
Do
know
they-
either.
do they hear it?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, yeah, you
I
didn't
walked
know
off stage and
either.
I was like, "Was that in front of house, guys? Like, did they hear that?" Because I'm freaking out because I still don't know. Like,
So at the end of the day, she's like, did they hear? Did they
I'm
hear
like,
it? I'm like, no.
hacking up along too. I'm like,
She's like,
I only also so iconic of Nash Overstreet to pick that moment. I just like that, and that's why I love him because that's like a very pure 100% prank.
And he's
Like,
good at
it's a-
hearing
it was
the
epic.
songs, right? Yeah.
Oh,
As in what mixes with what.
yeah.
Oh,
Because
well,
I've seen
he was
his.
our
I've
music
seen.
I'd
his
like to
director on
request at
that.
the end of this podcast when you run the credits that it's one particular Nash Overstreet remix that is the word "bussy" in all of the country songs
Literally.
That is funny.
from that tour. Yeah, I remember like we got every now and then we'd have like the black vans come out to like drive us to the next airport. It was
Yeah.
flying every day, and sometimes someone from another band would be late for their band, so they would like hop in our van,
Oh,
right?
right.
And like we'd be like, "Oh, hey, you're the like playback guy for We the Kings," or like, "Hey, what you know?" And we're like, "Sick, all right, driver, play the song." And it's like 6 a.m. Everyone's hungover. We're like, it's just like.
Oh my god.
And they play it.
My bussy, bussy. It's just like a whole bussy
Ah,
remix
was
of
so
like
good.
this ain't bussy. That ain't
Everything
bussy.
was, yeah.
Pack your
literally.
bussy.
Hey boss, hey boss.
Bussy. Yeah, it's
Bossy,
like
bossy.
it's
Always.
like and what was the other one with the did your pussy
Pussy
stop
stop
working? Did your pussy break down? I burned through pussy.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Gee, that's
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah, we're sad, all of us.
I
I
mean-
think.
Sorry. So, anyways, for everyone who doesn't get it, they're like, "What are
This
they
is-
talking about?"
This is the fun
It's-
of being on tour. Because
It's
you're building bonds with everyone.
I will tell you, a lot of songs came out of the trauma of a tour and a trauma of a year. But the truth is, how cool is it that we got to experience that together? Because we always say, at least we had Jess, at least we had Nash,
Yeah.
and we had the two of us, and
You
we
had
were
a good
like, we
team.
love hanging out together. So like, we just had these really bizarre experiences.
Like, it could have been shit if you had the wrong people. But you had real people.
Well, we
around
also
you.
did have the wrong people, but at least we had
You had
each other.
okay. You had a couple of real.
We had a
people.
lot of wrong people
We
at
had
first.
so many wrong
and
people.
then-
We hate
and
each
then
other,
At a
though.
certain point, we
And
hit
they're
up
like-
Nash and Jess, and we're like, we need homies.
Yeah.
We
But
need some
even
people
after
we
that,
trust.
though,
What?
we've had wrong people after that fact too, where we have like at least throughout the entire time until today, we have all like stuck together. And like no matter who kind of came through,
Like-
and like something went down, we're like, oh god! But at least we all knew we had each other.
Yeah.
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 But I think it was because we all grew up in this
yeah.
like
Yeah.
band
Been
space.
in the industry
and
for,
the,
for
no,
a
but
long
like
time.
in the
Like in this
Warped Tour
world.
bearing,
Yep.
like we were like we knew what to prepare for, and
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
all grew up in like this weird, bizarre touring environment as young kids that were doing crazy shit.
Oh yeah.
like,
I mean, 12 or whatever to be on Warp Tour.
It's a pirate's life for me.
It is
pirate's
It really is
or
a
a
pirate's life.
or a
Fuck.
circus life. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
so circusy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
circusy.
Carney, pirate.
yeah,
I'm like,
and
Like,
it's
it's very-
fun.
yeah. That's why we get so excited. You get to one city and it's like, this city really cared,
Yeah,
like about the catering.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
you're like, wow, they left postcards. They left
Yeah.
lotion and vitamins.
Made
like,
a
you're
little-
like, oh my god,
made a little cake.
they made a cake. Yeah, they're like, they cared about the bands coming through. It's like
Yeah.
so exciting when like catering at a venue like really cared.
Yeah,
Yeah, so,
So
exactly.
like, mother, mommy,
Right?
just
God.
anyway.
Ugh.
Well, we
Oh,
better
my
wrap
gosh.
this up because otherwise,
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
won't.
otherwise
this is not
could
gonna
go
fit.
forever.
Me and
Yeah.
Jess are drunkizing right now. I can
Yeah,
feel
we're
it.
doing the.
like,
I'm like, we could talk forever.
We're
Like,
like,
literally right now
woo!
we could.
What is it, Tuesday?
All right. Why are we like this?
At least this is a podcast.
It's a
not
good
like-
Oh, we
At least
like
you didn't have to
l-
read like off like things.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah.
Okay, listen.
Yeah. Speak.
Oh,
Say
I'm
this
waiting for
undrunk.
whatever
Oh,
you're.
okay, listen,
let's
listen.
go.
We just got to listen from Jess.
Listen, be going,
Okay,
listen.
Jess,
Okay,
what
listen.
is
Jess
it?
says listen.
Jess,
you
Jess
listen.
just goes. We
listen.
just
Okay,
started
listen.
recording.
Yes,
Welcome to the
okay.
podcast.
Okay, good.
Welcome back to the podcast.
Hi, I'm Jess Bowen, and this is
Welcome back,
Bojo.
everyone. It hasn't been filming this entire time, I promise. Her album is coming.
Okay, her
As
album
if
is
we haven't
coming
been
out.
talking about that.
Give us
No,
all your
but
socials.
For real, like literally, love your album. I mean, I know that I'm drunk right now.
Thank you.
Not
It's
drunk
not
me
about
is saying her drunk her drunk.
Her drunk album is delicious. No,
Okay.
she's like, I'll have
Ready?
it.
Her album.
By the way, this podcast is brought to you by
Crumble
Espelon,
and Espelon.
Crumble
Okay.
and
listen.
N18. What was it? What was it? The
C4.
Ocean Spray.
C4. No, the
Ocean Spray.
Ocean Spray and Alaska.
It's Ocean Spray.
No,
okay.
Antarctica. Antarctica. What was it?
Oh, A21.
A21.
Antarctic 21.
I said C14.
All right. Awesome. Well,
42069.
I am so sorry to have. Wait.
Okay.
We didn't even play the drinking game we said we were going to play.
What
and
We
here
didn't
are.
need to. We did
don't
not
need
After this.
drinking
After
games.
this.
We
need to do a
just
separate
drink.
clip. Okay. Listen.
We did not need a drink.
Thank
game.
you all for watching. Thank you all for watching. Honestly, Jax, thank you for doing this because you are a fucking icon. And I was, as a friend, you know when
you.
friends don't want to ask
Likewise.
friends to do things? You know what I'm saying?
I do.
You know that. You know that about me. She
She's
says
like,
that.
wanna
all
well,
the
hire
time.
me to
you didn't
drum
want to
because
ask her to
we were
drum.
No,
friends.
I would
Literally, I
never
just
wanna
told
ask-
you. I'm like, no, I can't ask her.
And then I was like, we can have Jax on.
Then we
this
finally made
podcast.
eye contact one day,
And
and
then
it was
one
all
night
over.
we're like, and then I was like, you okay, and it like it was nothing. There's no
And then it was
word
fun.
said, but anyways,
And here you are.
and here we are now. So everyone, listen to her new album, Dear Joe. It's amazing. Obviously, as
It's not
Jax-
about Joe Bowden
It's not
or
about
Joe
Joe Bowden.
Byron. It is about Joe. Do you know Joe?
I don't know Joe.
What
it's
was
Joe
that?
Mama.
Joe Mama.
What was that? You know, we used to ask the question at the very first podcast, and it was Joe, whatever, and the tiger thing.
The what
Should I-
did she wanna know?
oh, Tiger King.
Joe
Yeah,
Joe
remember?
Exotic. Like
Remember, we used to
or-
say, "Are you this or you're that?"
We did.
Joe.
Baskin or
Like when
Joe
we-
Exotic?
When we first started in 2020. Yeah, that one.
Can you do me a favor? I'm
Yeah.
gonna pee one more time, but don't end the podcast.
Okay.
I know you're trying to wrap it up, but can you spill the tea on that?
Okay, spill.
We're not ending it.
It's not me.
All right, spill.
Wait, I don't. Wait. What about it? What about it?
That we did a Zoom call.
Oh,
You
well,
did a
okay.
Zoom
Well,
with her.
yeah. I don't remember exactly what happened.
Okay.
We're waiting. Oh, wait, are we doing this?
No,
right now?
she said do it now.
Yeah, we could talk about it.
Okay.
During the pandemic, we all watched Tiger King, right?
Yeah.
Who didn't?
I didn't, but yeah, everyone else.
didn't?
Literally everyone else did. That's why I was
So-
like, why are we asking that?
So like when TikTok started going off, she was doing her parodies and everything, perspective videos. We decided like let's start reaching out to some like celebrities and like do some collaborations. Carol Baskin was one of them.
No.
And
No way.
We're up to the Carol Baskin was one of them.
Carol
that was.
Baskin
Oh
was,
wait, the door.
That's okay.
Only
Well, it
because
doesn't have to.
I'm locked in here.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Oh,
Oh, we're stuck.
Now
I
we're
love
stuck.
Okay.
Yeah, Carol Baskin was one of those people that we
No.
reached out to, and we did a Zoom call with her.
Holy, how did you? What the hell?
And she was down to like open the door to doing a collaboration
Dude,
and
that's
some kind of
crazy.
TikTok video. And take it from here, Jax.
And then
Basically, like, it was like around the time that she was like getting accused of murder. And by the way, like, I'd like to sort of like clear her name, I guess, in a sense that like they confirmed.
They confirmed.
she
Yeah,
didn't,
but
right?
like no
They
one
did,
really
they did.
talked about it when they confirmed that it wasn't.
Yeah, it was like
her.
the story was done by
But
now.
like at that point, she was just slandered for life. So I feel really bad.
Yeah.
I'm like, but she was just like this like geeky like.
Yeah, she loved tigers.
She was like a nerd
That's
for
right.
the
She just
tiger
loves
for her
tigers.
zoo. I don't know, like she was nice, but she was like very like so super on
She was
edge.
very protective.
Which is understandable, but like the fact that we like
So you didn't know all that was happening.
no,
and then,
because I actually genuinely thought
and
Wait,
then
you genuinely thought what?
we,
You know what I'm saying?
no, she
well,
might
we
have.
can
She
imply.
might have done it.
but
Can
like
we
again,
imply
that's
what
the
you
perfect
thought?
example of like the world because I'm
Oh.
that person now on the other side of the screen
100%.
that's like, oh, the Netflix convinced me
Yeah.
that like
yeah.
this woman like killed her husband, and I was
You're
like,
like,
there's
okay.
like actually a chance because like the conspiracies seem legit, and I was like, when it came out that like it wasn't, I'm like, now I understand why like Carol Baskin was like so
Yeah.
intense about whatever we were gonna TikTok about, and we
Yeah.
never ended up doing a TikTok, but she was like super nice, and
We
it just
pitched
so
her an
weird.
idea.
and
did.
no success.
No.
No,
It was you are the murderer. No.
No. But
No,
it
I'm
was,
joking. I'm joking.
but it was
It
like
wa-
kind
it
of
wa-
like
it kinda
joking
was.
about it, like it was like
Yeah.
making a joke, like
Yeah.
like I was like just singing with this tiger, and then all of a sudden Carol Baskin like kind of jump scared me or something.
Oh,
and I
yeah,
was
it was
like,
a little.
I can
in-
see
it was
why.
insinuating
about
that there
that
was.
she's
She
scary.
was like,
she's like, you know
Maybe
what? This is
she was
great, but
maybe-
not great for me.
yeah. Meanwhile, Joe Exotic, what is he still out here in jail?
that guy
Anyway,
entertaining.
my
We'll
album's
say
co-
he's
anyway, my
entertaining.
album's coming out.
Anyway,
this episode is brought to you by
Well, this episode.
By Joe Baskin. Yeah. And
Joe Baskin.
crumble cookies.
Joe Baskin.
We
Bing
never even
bang.
played the. What was the drinking game we were gonna do?
We were just
All
gonna
right.
drink.
Oh,
We
but
were just gonna
something. Oh, but
No.
it's too late now because it was every time you said something you had
No,
to.
no, and we
Ah,
said everything.
We fucked it up.
Oh.
All
How
right.
about every time you say Joe,
Hey.
you have to drink?
Well,
Okay.
we would have to get our
We would've-
stomachs pumped at this
All
point.
right.
Probably owe
That's
each other
why,
10
you know,
shots.
in the Big Brother house, they're like, what drinking games do you know? And
Yeah.
I'm like, literally none in Australia. We just drink, like, whenever we want to drink. Like, we don't play, well, as far as I know, we don't play drinking games. We just drink. And they're like, like,
R.
you don't need an excuse.
Arr.
No, no.
No.
We don't need
Clear.
an excuse. We don't need an excuse to drink, people. We
Yeah.
just drink whenever
No.
we want to drink.
I honestly considered moving to Australia.
Did you after the
We
tour or
love-
what? What
I
do you mean?
love it.
Hold on. Sorry, we gotta wrap this up soon. But what do you mean?
I will say that Mark Wahlberg like DM me back.
And he
while
lives
we were
in
on
Australia.
that boat. So like we wanted to do
Oh, in
like a nice thing
Antarctica?
for everybody, and we were like, we'll do a
The speedboat
a pontoon
thing.
boat like
Mhm.
on the we only had one day off. Like
Sydney
we were
or
literally
something, right?
like,
It was in
yeah,
the
in
Sydney
Sydney.
Bay.
I saw it, yeah.
We
the
were
bay.
like traveling for all our days off on a long flights, like
Yeah.
6 hour, 7 hour flights, like crazy.
Yeah.
And finally we had one day actually off, and we still like a testament to like our friendships like at this point, because I would have been like, fuck you guys. Like if I was Jess, I would have been like, I'm going to sleep. But like everyone
yeah.
came on this boat.
You're like,
and,
I actually like these people.
like we wanted to hang out, so we ended up going on this pontoon, but I TM'd Mark Wahlberg.
And?
It's so crazy with Mark Wahlberg because like I met him once because we were at iHeartRadio
Yeah.
in LA, and I have like truly the worst sense of direction of all time. Like it wasn't a fart; it was like my
Oh,
Yeah, sure,
no.
sure.
Sure.
I was like, that was probably
All
Billy.
right, fine, it was a
but-
fart. Breathe in.
Oh, I also have the worst sense of direction, by the way. So, yeah.
No, ain't no way.
Mm,
Not the worst. It's got to be me.
like
'Cause,
there's one street and I go, it's that way and it's that
Can
way.
we turn this into a drinking game?
Yeah, how do we turn this?
I swear, like if you tell me like the minute I go, yeah, turn right, I have to say to myself, well, it's probably left because I instinctually thought it was right.
Exactly. Same with me.
So like there is no compass, right?
Yeah.
So in iHeartRadio, I was like, I went to go pee before my interview, and I thought I was walking back to my interview, but I was walking the other way, and I physically bumped into Mark Wahlberg.
like boom.
No, boom,
Oh.
like, and he was like, I was like, he was like, I'm like, he was like, you know what? Why don't we just hug?
Oh
And I
my
was like-
god! It was like fully awkward.
Like a, and I was like, okay, cool. And we hugged, and then I went back to the interview. I was all frazzled. I was like, holy fucking shit. guys.
oh my
Craziest
god.
pee of my life. I bumped physically into Mark Wahlberg, and I called him Marky Mark, which I don't think he likes.
Wait, did you really?
Yeah, I was like,
Marky Mark.
He's like, Anyway, he ends up doing tequila shots with us at like 11 in the morning with his new tequila, which is like an awesome tequila. That is the actual shout out.
Fletcher Azul.
Fletcher Azul is so fucking good, dangerously good.
Ooh.
But anyway, he has a place in Sydney. So like,
He was filming a movie in Sydney while we were there.
when we
Oh,
were,
you joking?
and
And
everyone
someone
kept
told
saying
us that he
it
was
like
there.
in Sydney.
Oh, so you messaged him?
So I messaged him. I
As
was
you
like,
do.
hey, like.
Oh mate, remember me,
He was
Marky
saying,
Mark?
like, on your day off, if you want to hang out with us. And he answered.
And what did he
No
say?
way.
He was like, I just flew back to LA, but I totally would have done that. Like,
I mean, he
thank you
probably
so
would
much.
have.
He was so nice. Like, fuck, we just missed him. We like could have went on a boat with Mark Wahlberg. I was
Damn.
trying to like surprise you guys with Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, that would have been so cool,
Dude, it was wild.
So he's
honestly.
got a place in Sydney.
yeah.
He was I think he was filming a movie there.
Oh,
so
so
he
by the
got-
way-
But he has a place
Did you know
on.
that
no,
in
but he
Sydney.
bought a place there
Yeah.
because he
But
loved it so much.
He's also like a big investor in F45, which is a
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Australian.
Mm.
It
I
is.
think
fitness.
I
Yeah.
think Mark loves it there.
Yeah.
Mark, like I
Yeah.
call him.
So,
by,
like,
on
it's-
the first
yeah,
name.
Yeah,
it's
Marky, he loves
But
it.
like, I think that's like
He
Yeah, I
loves
think
the
he
Wait,
likes
can I just side note
Australia.
before we wrap this up? Because I know you guys, this dog is even upset. Like, at
No,
this point.
dog's like, give me a pat.
One more thing about Mark Wahlberg.
let's go.
Just to really pull this together.
Bring this
I'm
back.
ready
let's,
for
let's
it.
circle it.
I
yeah.
will say,
It's
like,
gonna be a circle.
you
back.
know now my experience in Mark Wahlberg so far. That is
Yes.
exactly how it went down.
There was a
Basically, we bumped into each other, whatever, did my interview, came out of the interview, and as we're leaving, Mark Wahlberg is there with the original Entourage, right? So he's there with the cast of what Entourage is based on, which is all his, like, closest friends pulled up, like, at iHeartRadio, and they're all, like, doing a shot of his new tequila, like, woo, tequila, at, like, to promote it, like, they were doing the
Yeah.
interviews, right? And they were all there, and they were like, hey, you, I remember you, you bumped into me, like, come over here, come do a shot. I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing a shot of tequila with Mark Wahlberg
This
at
is
like
at
11 in
10
the
a.m.
morning. Like,
Yeah, at 10 a.m.?
No, literally. Like, I'm like, and I'll just whatever you want. Like,
You're
I'm
like,
like,
no
of
worries.
course.
10 a.m. I'm ready.
But like, yeah, so that's my experience. And then from that point forward, I mean, they were so nice. He even gave me like a bottle to go home with or whatever. They were
Oh.
like
He sent us
super
a case of it,
nice.
like-
No
like,
way.
No.
they were
fucking
so
way.
nice. And like, anyway, my brother, who is 2 years younger than me, he's like a U.S. Marine guy, right? He's like, his biggest claim to fame is that him and Mark Wahlberg have the same birthday.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So for some bizarre reason, he thinks it's like the funniest thing. Every birthday of his, on June 5th, he says like, he DMs Mark Wahlberg and says, happy birthday, brother. I love your work. You know, he's like a really big Mark Wahlberg fan. He's like, one day, like, Mark Wahlberg will like see my DM and like finally say, you too, brother.
and he
Or,
knows
like,
you've had these interactions.
No.
Oh.
no. So for my brother's birthday after that,
Oh.
I DM Mark Wahlberg and I was like, listen,
No, this is good.
I'm like, my little brother, my idiot little brother,
He
like,
loves you.
he absolutely, he's a U.S. Marine, like, he's a good guy, he's kind of stupid, but he's cool, like, he DMs you every year and says, happy birthday, brother, with the ultimate goal of you, like, finally being like, you too, brother,
No.
right, like, brother, so he's literally like, he did
So he wrote back?
He did it.
twice this year, too.
Yeah, he did it. No,
And
well,
did
he
your brother
responded
know
the
it was
first
you?
year.
My brother
No
can't
way.
process it.
So like
He
2
thinks
years,
it's fake.
Oh.
He still doesn't even think
2
it's
years
really
ago,
Mark
Mark
Wahlberg.
Wahlberg responded to him, and then this year
He did it again?
he did it again and
Yeah.
said happy birthday, and he
Yeah.
responded again.
He
and
goes,
was
"You
like,
too, brother."
You too.
Like, he answers all of my brother's birthday DMs now. But you do see like a long history of like,
There's
like Oh,
10
10 years of him being
of
like,
him
happy birthday,
saying it.
brother. Happy birthday, brother.
That
happy
is-
birthday, my brother. Just DMing Mark Wahlberg.
That is funny.
Anyway, shout
That
out to
is-
Mark Wahlberg for making my brother's dreams.
And also, this podcast is brought to you by Mark Wahlberg.
we wish.
We wish.
And also,
It's brought to you by Fletch Hizzle.
and also, what else?
None
Adobe Radio.
of the
Yes.
above. Anyways, thank you all.
Purified water.
Thank you all for listening, Jax,
And
Brave,
Billy.
And my mom.
and your mom, and wait, god damn it,
Just as a private message for my mom.
I do love Jill and John.
And
Jill and John.
But mostly Jill.
I do love Jill. And John.
Double J. Double J.
You gotta say that.
For sure you're done.
Jill
for
and
sure.
John. That is crazy. They've got the same initials.
Jill and John. We love
Just
Jill.
saying,
I love
girl.
Jill and John.
I mean,
And
you know.
and thank you
Just
for
saying.
being here.
Thank you for coming, everyone. Thank you to our sponsors, which is pretty much every brand in the world at this point.
This is our
Guys, this
second goodbye,
progressively
right?
got sloppier.
I'm
would like
going
to
to be like,
This is
what
our
the
second
fuck
goodbye.
was that?
Sorry,
I guess what I'm
everyone.
trying to say is,
No,
would you
wait.
guys like to come to Thirsty Merchant after that?
Yeah. There's
We'll be going to the pub. Also, if you like this podcast, which you probably didn't, you need to subscribe. Subscribe to
Like.
YouTube, subscribe to podcasts, because honestly, if you don't subscribe, how are you going to know this
Click.
bullshit goes on?
Facts.
how you gonna know?
Subscribe.
How you gonna know?
Click the link
Click anything.
in the bio.
Click
or
everything you see.
Click so much. Like, if you see us,
Click.
just click things.
Clickbait. Clickbait.
How are you gonna know if you need someone to fight someone for you? It's me.
If you ever need... If you're looking for a solid
It's me.
Yeah.
4.5
I'm more
stars on
scared of Jess
Wiki.
than most people are.
Listen to Brave.
Oh.
Okay.
Well,
The only man in the room is scared of whom? Whom?
She's scrappy.
Jess. Yeah.
You scared of
She's
me?
scrappy.
She'll
No.
kill you.
No.
I will
She'll
kill
kill
you.
you.
Jess. I've seen it.
I
Yeah.
She's
literally
like-
rallied Jess in the troops at one point at the end of this last tour. I was like, Jess, you hear that? And Jess just goes,
Literally. Literally, if you want.
Ready. Yeah.
She's like a velociraptor.
Yeah. Yeah. You really have to be
Sorry,
careful.
what?
You really have to be careful about igniting Jess.
no, you don't. Just use it at all costs. You're
No,
like, she's just your
you're
back
like-
pocket. Like, Jess is there. She'll tell you.
No, you're like, actually, I'm igniting you.
Like,
for
what'd you
this
say?
one, bang.
Say it
What did you
again.
say?
One more
Say it
time. Just
again,
want you to
Jess, you
repeat
hear
it. Just be like, yeah, just, sorry, I missed this. Repeat it.
Also, if you go on reality TV,
One more time.
have Jess as your friend. She'll throw punches. Or
I
the
will
whole
throw
way
punches
through.
anywhere.
Yes.
Or she'll, yeah.
And that's where we're leaving this podcast. Babes behind the beats.
Anyway,
All right, everyone.
should we curtain call
I think
for the
that's
theater
it.
kids out there?
So we're gonna
Should
do
we
the
bow?
We're gonna do the
Do
clap.
you want to do a bow?
Yeah,
Yes,
should we
we'll do
bow?
the bow.
This is gonna be the first time in Babes Behind the Beats history.
Well, guys, we drank the C4, so that, all right.
All right.
All right.
Thank y'all.
Wait,
You
wait,
can't
wait.
even really hear. Get over here.
I mean, we don't know. There's so many.
Yes, this was yours. Okay, here we are. Ready?
Here we go. Wait.
And,
Wait.
and a bow. And a bow. And a bow. Ready?
1, 2, 3. Okay. Oh, okay, get in.
No. You guys do it. You're gonna do it.
Brave.
All right, fine.
Get the fuck in here.
I have to
We
pee
have
so
never
bad.
done this.
I know.
This
Come on.
is a first.
I don't think anyone has.
Ever.
Bowed after a podcast.
3, 2, 1. And the crowd's roaring.
Thank you. Stop. Come
Yes.
on. No,
Yes.
just one for Brave. Go.
Yes.
Thank you.
The link.
It's a curtsy.
A curtsy.
It's a curtsy.
Thank you and good night.